Gameday. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We're counting down to tip-off of Arizona basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
And here goes Jaden on the run for the Wildcats, streaking down the court. Bradley into traffic, lay it up and good. To Vasar, back to Love. Stops, double teamed underneath. Vasar, slam it home.
Beautiful pass there by Caleb Love out of that middle pick and roll. The two of them have been connected all year.
Knocked away by Caleb Love, picked up by KJ Lewis. Lewis going to drive, spin in the lane, lay it up and good. Love drives into Chetfield, dribble the ball off his foot, trapped on the far side, throw it out, knocked away, stolen by Lipsy. He'll drive to the other end and lay it in.
Yeah, the pressure by Iowa State.
Lipsy fires it left corner. Wide open three is up and good from Curtis Jones. Cyclones have a chance, and of course, they've got the Cougars here on Tuesday. Final score here in Ames, Iowa State 84, Arizona 67.
Back from Ames here in Tucson, and it is basketball night in Arizona, senior night for your Wildcats as they welcome in the Sun Devils from Tempe for the Territorial Cup Series Part 2. Wildcats won it up in the Valley last month. They'll go for yet another season sweep of their rivals here tonight to wrap up the home part of this 2024-2025 scheduled. Welcome to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday. I am David Kelly. We are joined, as always, by our guys. We've got the captain, Kelvin Efon, and we've got J.W. Madden as well. Wildcats and the Sun Devils getting ready to tip off here at around 9 o'clock here in Southern Arizona. We have got you for the next 3 hours until 8:30. Another late night Big 12 Live, or whatever you want to call it, for sure. These games, this is the last. I would imagine this will be the last of the 9 o'clock tip-offs. Let's hope so. I don't think there'll be any more in the postseason or thereafter. But we'll get through this last one. And Tommy Lloyd has a suggestion for you on how to get ready for tonight's game. You'll hear that coming up straight ahead. What else will we dive into? Well, let's tell you.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
We'll take a look back at the loss at Iowa State. Wildcats really never were in that game after about the 12-minute mark of the first half. We'll get you set for Arizona State. They come in here limping. A lot of injuries, a lot of losses on the Sun Devils' backs. What is the future of Bobby Hurley? We'll maybe begin to answer that question. Your first look is, as always, brought to you by the Window Depot. Spotlight on a cat. We'll shine a spotlight on several cats. It is senior night. We'll hear a little bit from all of the senior players, or about the senior players for your Arizona Wildcat. Who's going to be that Sun Devil that gets underneath the Wildcat skin tonight? It is your pest of the game, brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. This game on the big board at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. Arizona, as you can imagine, a heavy favorite tonight. How about 18.5 points favorite over their rivals tonight with an over-under set at 155. Luis Denohane will join us. He is the play-by-play man on the Spanish side of the broadcast for your Arizona Wildcats. You might remember he called the famed shot earlier this season by one Caleb Love to help send the Iowa State game here in Tucson to overtime. We'll hear from Luis on how he got into the broadcast business and what he enjoys most about calling the games on the Spanish side for our Spanish-speaking community here in Southern Arizona. Wildcats and Sun Devils. Arizona, though, coming off the loss at Iowa State on Saturday. It rained threes, 11 to be exact. Milan Momcilovic had quite a few of those threes all by himself, 6 if I'm not mistaken. And he talked a little bit about how the Cyclones got hot from three in that ballgame.
Yeah, I think they were really trying to protect the paint a lot, and they were in gaps too, like we were trying to do. So on the ball screen, on the weak side, they're kind of tagging the roller. So it kind of allowed me to get open on the weak side and pull the top of the key. So I think they were trying to keep the ball out of the paint, same as us. And we kind of took advantage there in that 8-minute stretch.
You see a lot different defensively that you were playing the second half, especially on you?
Yeah, second half, they didn't tag the roller. My guys stayed with me close, so I think we got a lot more. We hit the pocket the second half to the roller, so that's what we need to do, the adjustments.
He actually only had 4 3-pointers. I gave him 2 more credits than he absolutely deserved in that ball game. But a great game by Milan Momcilovic in that contest against the Wildcats. Tommy Lloyd was asked about the play because, again, Milan Momcilovic was a player that the Wildcats did not see the first time around because he was injured. But 17 points on 5 of 10 overall and 4 of 7 from 3. What was Tommy's thought on that?
I don't think some of his threes were necessarily us keeping him out of the paint. They were on little actions, we call them, fake ball screens to a quick pin away, and that's a defensive mistake. I mean, you can guard that if you have awareness, and our guys just didn't guard it, and that's good execution by them. But that had nothing to do with keeping them out of the paint. I mean, we're trying to keep them out of the paint. They're trying to keep us out of the paint, and they made some threes during the stretch that allowed them to kind of get a lead at home, which was too much to overcome.
To follow up on what you said, Tommy, Momcilovic actually said he thought that you guys were tagging the roller and really focusing on the paint.
Shouldn't have been.
But okay, so
Mistakes.
that's the thing.
All right, so let's get into what we heard a new phrase there, tagging the roller. Break that down for me, guys, what they're talking about and why that might not have been the best way for Arizona to try to defense those 3-point shots.
Well, we definitely brought that up on here a lot, for sure, me and J-Dub. And basically, I think I explained it the other night, right, J-Dub? Basically, tagging the roller is when the guy, when they're doing the pick and roll in your backside, and I was talking about KJ, actually, against BYU. That's when it was. And your backside, and they're doing a pick and roll, and you have to go help on that pick and roll. Now, if you have a good shooter, a lot of times you don't quite help. You kind of stay over there a little bit because you want to get back to your shooter. But when they have a good roller, you want to go and tag that guy. That means basically bump him, to knock him off his course so he don't have an easy bucket. And sometimes you have to wrestle with him for a little while until the big man get back, because the big man helps and gets back. So I just think, that's what they was trying to do. But as you know, when you're playing against good shooters, you have to adjust that and stay closer to the shooter and kind of let them beat you with the 2-pointer instead of with the 3.
Yeah, ideally, it's not a matter of one or the other, DK. It's a matter of both. Like, that defender needs to hedge and fake as if they're going to go and protect that roll man, but actually their responsibility is to get out. If they got a green light shooter that they're defending, you never leave that guy, because a lot of pick and roll action is set up to draw extra defenders and kick the ball out to a shooter. That's literally the design of it. Both teams, Iowa State and Arizona, were trying to get guards in the paint on that first half. You said he had 4 in the game, but it was actually 4 for 5 in the first half. Right? Hence the change there in the second half, where there was clearly a miscommunication, or the way they were defending that was not what the coaching staff wanted. That guy is the shooter for that team.
So why are we seeing mistakes like that this late in the season?
Well, I see KJ doing it a lot. That's who I see. And I'm not calling him out. I'm just going on what I see.
Right.
And I see KJ doing it a lot. And I think if you hear Coach, he's been saying it all year, he kind of just trusts KJ to make the right play. And a lot of times, guess what? He gets right. He makes a lot of plays. I think he's the top steal guy on the team, right? So a lot of time he guesses right. But against these better shooting teams, I think KJ needs to think about it a little bit more and understand that these big guys are not going to kill you in this league. You look around this league, and when you're going into the tournament, we always say that, J-Dub, it's the guard play, right? So you have to understand who could really kill you. Those twos hurt you, and they can beat you, and they cut you for sure. But those threes, man, they get you behind so fast. So I just think KJ has to make an adjustment and make sure that he's a little bit closer to his guy, because his guy usually is important. The guy that KJ is guarding, I always say he should be locked. And locked means that you don't help off of that guy. You stay with that guy no matter what. Everybody else have to absorb and take care of the other 4 guys.
Well, that's the thing I'm seeing, I think, a lot. The consistent thing I'm seeing is, and I tweeted it out again today, is I'm seeing Caleb Love in a lot of these instances literally a foot away from his guy behind the line, and I'm seeing KJ Lewis with a foot in the paint and helping and sagging like you just mentioned. So if that's going to be the way we're going to play this, then you're going to have to live. You're saying, what you're saying is, all right, we're going to live with those guys potentially hitting those 3-point shots, because we feel like maybe it's better for KJ defensively to try to create turnovers on passes potentially into the paint.
I don't know if it's even about turnovers as much as, again, we talked about this a couple games ago, but KJ Lewis is trying to defend all 5 guys on the court at the same time. And that's just who he is. And a lot of people are like that. It's not one-on-one. There's no such thing as one-on-one defense at college basketball level. You're going to get switches. You're going to get situations in a pick and roll where 2 guys are guarding one, and the roller is the guy who was setting the screen generally. There's always situations where you're caught in limbo, and it's key to be intelligent and read the play intelligently. And again, it's all about where your back foot, front foot situation is. If you're leaning back, then you can't get out to the shooter. So the idea of KJ making a quick move as if he's going to affect the roller, but still having the back pedal to get back out on the shooter is what they're trying to do on all of these plays. And sometimes the offense gives a little bit of a hesitation, Kelvin. I mean, one just little hezzy dribble is enough to get that defender sometimes who's super active on their back foot. Then they can't quite get out to the shooter. There's no correct answer as to where the players are supposed to be, because KJ's responsibility is his man, but KJ's responsibility is also to help all 4 of his teammates if needed, because he is that guy. A lot of the guys on this team are like that. BYU is the big one. If you look at BYU game, especially in the second half, what happened was they hit a couple threes, and then Arizona started defending and sticking with the 3-point shooters, and what happened? The big man rolled right to the front of the rim, right down the middle of the paint for 3 dunks, 2 layups, and 2 dunks. And then KJ started putting a little bit more momentum going towards that roll man, wide open threes in the corner. So it's a pick a poison type of scenario. I don't blame KJ Lewis as much as the guys, Kelvin, whose job it is to defend that roller, being a little bit more physical at the point of attack. So it's not one, you might see one guy. This isn't a cornerback out on an island with the great wide receiver. That's not what we're talking about here at all. All 4 guys are responsible to help each other, help the 5th man on the court. And if the guy's a little bit more slow-footed out there, KJ's trying to make up for a lot of defensive deficiencies on the team. And sometimes it may look like he's the one who's not in the right position at the right time. But truly, Kelvin, he's guarding multiple guys.
And I agree with you, but in certain instances, as time go on in the game, you read the game. And you understand what I'm saying? And they were going from the 3. And so I felt like, not that he was out, he was in perfect position if you were guarding it the way where you were trying to take away the roller, which is what people usually do. You don't want to give up that dunk down the middle. But we're all saying also, if that guy is rolling, now you want to fake stunt, as they call it, toward that big guy like you're going to actually take him and then sprint to that corner, and you have to be there on the catch. He's there just a tick late. He's getting the hand up there. He's doing the correct thing. Coaches ask, check the shot. That means get the hand up high. But KJ's defense, of what I'm used to him playing, he's there on the catch. He's there right up in the guy, chest to chest, forcing the guy, basically in his cylinder, forcing the guy to go off the dribble. And as you see KJ Love, I think with KJ Love, you got an older guy, right, Jada?
Caleb, yeah.
Oh, I'm saying KJ Love. Wow.
Yeah.
Caleb Love. Yeah, I got a son named KJ too, right? So with Caleb Love, what you see with him, the reason why he's playing a little bit closer is, guess who? He's a shooter. He understands how a shooter thinks. And he understands that a shooter, if you give a shooter some space and he catches the ball, shot is up. shot is up. So he's like literally a hand away from the guy, discouraging a pass to the guy. Because to me, that's the only way you can really stop a real shooter is discourage the ball. Keep the ball away from him, because once he gets hot and it gets going, you can't foul the guy. So your best thing is to deny it.
And real quick, when we talk about like that jab step towards the roll man, it has nothing to do with the roll man. It has to do with the guy who's got the ball at the top of the key. Because if you give them a moment of pause to think they're not going to be able to fit that ball through that window to get it to the roll man, and then you sprint back out at the three-point man, that the guy that you're actually defending, you're in essence guarding two different people simultaneously. Now, if the ball handler sees the tendencies of a guy like KJ Lewis and sees that he's trying to affect the roll man and get out to the three-point shooter in the corner, then just a tiniest bit of hesitation, like I said, from the ball handler sometimes can do the exact same thing KJ's trying to do to that ball handler, trying to confuse him, doesn't know where the ball is going to be going. It's just a big game of chess. And sometimes you're just in the wrong position. And we've seen that, especially against Iowa State. They had a couple open threes, but especially against BYU because they were spreading the court, shooters in the corners, pick and roll at the top, and all five guys were a threat to score. It's just a tough situation when you don't have 5+ defenders on the court, Kelvin Ifon, and you're trying to make up maybe for one or two guys who aren't great defenders. That's what we've seen these last couple of games.
520-848-1290 is our phone number. You can interact with the program. You can share your thoughts with us by way of phone call. You can share your thoughts with us by way of text to that number, 520-848-1290. We want to hear from you. We're streaming the show live on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch. We may even put up the Instagram live here in a little while and get that going for you. There are plenty of places for you to watch the show, listen to the show, WildcatsRadio1290.com. Download our app. We have a complete preview of the game on the front page of our app right now. Territorial Cup Series Part 2. You can hear the thoughts of Tommy Lloyd from earlier this week. Also, Caleb Love and Trey Townsend. You also hear all of those folks throughout the rest of our show here this evening. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day is moving on. Close to the tip-off, 9 o'clock tonight. Out here in the desert, Arizona versus Arizona State. With Calvin Ifon and J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona basketball is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour one of the pregame show is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Poston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management, wealth well managed, life well lived.
At University Termite and Pest Control, we handle all your pest problems. Maybe a few family ones, too.
Wait, you can even take care of my in-laws?
I always tell people we'll take care of anything, even in-laws. You just have to dig the hole.
Okay, but seriously, is it okay for our pets?
Absolutely. It's okay for pets, kids, anything you want to live, will live.
Call us today at University Termite and Pest Control. We'll squash those pests and enjoy it.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or RoyalKia.com.
Go Wildcats! As the new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, the Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we're offering 60 months no interest financing, tax credits up to $2,600, energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
It's raucous. I mean, I hope everybody goes and understands there's this thing in life called happy hour. And you can go out before, and usually the food and the drinks are discounted, and I hope they fully participate in that, and they come to root on a Wildcat team that's battled for them all year and done a great job representing the community. Because listen, Tucson's built for it. It's not a sexy place all the time, and you know what, and you know we're used to being gritty and fighting for it, and this team has represented that. So I hope they come out and they honor the team the way they should be honored, and I expect they will. I mean, there's not a challenge. And then I hope our guys come out and you know, and honor the fans with an effort that, you know, McHale and our fan base deserve.
Happy hour is open for business here in Southern Arizona. It is 5 o'clock. You better get there. I think it ends at 7 o'clock. So get yourself ready for some college basketball tonight here in Southern Arizona as Arizona and Arizona State do battle over at McHale Center. Welcome back to Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. It is the Wildcats and the Sun Devils tonight, 9 o'clock tip-off. We've got you till 8:30 tonight. 520-848-1290 is the number if you'd like to get in on the program. Let's hear from Robert. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Robert, I don't know if I should even be allowing your call because I don't think you've called in after a win yet, and that was kind of my rule, but I'm going to let you slide on this one. But this will be the last time, Robert. If I don't start hearing from you after wins, you're not getting back on this station, and that's a promise.
Sounds good. Yeah, but my question is, what, like in the game against Iowa State, was it Monticelli or whatever that guy's name was?
Momachilovich.
Why didn't Tommy? Well, whatever. But why didn't Tommy Lloyd stick somebody on that guy like glue after he saw how hot he was? Just let the guy shoot and shoot and shoot. Tommy Lloyd, to me, does not make any adjustments that need to be made. I'm surprised he called timeouts in the first half. That was a miracle. But, I mean, when the guy's that hot, don't you guys think that they should have one guy sticking to him like glue and not even let him see the ball? Not just like I guess Calvin was saying about K.J. Lewis dropping off and, going over to the guy. Every time the guy shot, there was nobody within 5 feet of him.
Well, with Momcilovic, it really wasn't. That wasn't the K.J. Lewis instance. That's on the bigs. And another thing that I'm seeing in these games where the Wildcats give up a lot of three-pointers is the bigs consistently sagging off a lot of these picks, screens at the top. They just sag down, and whether it's a guard or whether it's Momcilovic, they're allowing these guys to take open shots instead of being up on the line. And I think that I pointed that out after the Texas Tech game, and Tommy even said after that the guys, they've got to be up on the line. And this was another instance where they weren't up on the line.
Yeah, that's true. You're 100% correct there. I just hopefully we'll get it together and start playing some defense tonight. And then at Kansas, I hope we bury Kansas on Saturday. And when they win tonight, I'll give you guys a call back. So I know you're going to hold me to your promise. So
there you go,
Robert. I appreciate
Robert.
you guys' show. I listen to it all the time. I don't always call in, but I appreciate you guys.
All right, I want to hear from you after positives, not just negatives.
All right, thank you, Dave. Take care.
All right.
Bear down, Robert.
And let me add to that. And Coach Lloyd said he made the adjustment. He said he did. I listened to him. He said, no, we made the adjustment, and guys didn't quite, pick it up for one reason or not. And that happens in the heat of battle sometimes. Some people hear it, and some people don't.
520-848-1290 is the number if you'd like to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. Tommy Lloyd wants a raucous McHale Center because it is senior night. Let's dive into Arizona State. Time now to take our first look at today's Arizona Wildcats men's basketball game. The first look at the game is brought to you by Window Depot. Lowest prices, biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. All right, it is senior night. There's going to be some familiar faces in senior night because some of these guys actually went through it last year. Caleb Love being one of those. I believe Grant Whiteman was one of those that went through it last year as well because, of course, some guys don't know if they're going to come back for that fifth year, and then they make the decision to it. So either way, Tommy Lloyd excited about his, quote, double dippers on senior.
My double dippers? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no question. Yeah, that's what I told him. So, hey, our guys are such good dudes that they really want. If they could not do senior day, they would, and just have it be about Arizona basketball. The 100%, our guys that are going to be honored on senior day would 100% devote. Let's just play the game and keep the focus on the team. But senior days are an opportunity to honor people who've given your program a lot. So we're going to take advantage of that opportunity to honor them, and some of them we're going to honor them again.
Caleb Love will be one of those guys that it will be honored here tonight. This will be his fourth career game against the rivals from the north. In those previous three, Caleb Love, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and shooting 50% from three-point land against the Sun Devils. Caleb on his final night at McHale Center.
I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. Obviously, it's the last home game, and we want to, show our, respect and show our, our love for the fans and what they've done and what they brought to not only us but this whole program by coming out here playing as hard as we can, playing together, and then just having fun and embracing McHale. Obviously this is gonna be me and Trey's last game here, but it's been a great journey. It's been a great I'm grateful to that I've come across such a great program, such a great group of guys, great coaching staff, great city, and we just want to like I said, just give back to them by playing as hard as we can and coming out with the win.
Caleb Love will be finishing out his fifth year here as an Arizona Wildcats, 2 seasons in Tucson, 3 seasons at North Carolina. It has been a great college career for him. Arizona State, on the other hand, comes in here limping. I mean, they've got injuries galore. Their fine young freshman forward, Jaden Quaintance, went down a few games ago. He was off to a great start in a contest and it suffered a lower leg injury. It does not appear, well, he's definitely not going to play tonight, and Bobby Hurley says there's no immediate timetable for him to return.
You know, he's got a right knee, and his family is just doing their due diligence with the medical, and you know, we're not sure or going to put a timetable on when he'll return.
Yeah, and there's a
oh no, that don't sound good.
Well, probably not this year is what that sounds like.
Yeah.
Probably not this year again, and that's a young man that's, you know, if his future is in Tempe, he's a too important piece to them to just rush back in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to make a run through the Big 12 tournament. I mean, with the way that they've been planning, especially having guys basically, I don't know, not on the team anymore. I don't know if he was kicked off, but
BJ Freeman,
Freeman's not on the team anymore. Adam Miller, I think, is hurt as well. I mean, so having so many guys out, you don't want to end up putting more weight on his shoulders and he really injure himself, right? So if it's something that's lingering, you want to just hold him out because his future is too bright. If he stays in the program or if he goes on, it's just too bright to be selfish in that moment.
Yeah, he's 17, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Left school early, high school early.
Bobby Hurley wondering if somebody's trying to send him some signals with all of these injuries that his team has suffered.
I mean, when you see like Adam Miller go down and then he can't really come back, it's a microcosm of everything that's happened, you know, and it's just that's why I said, is the universe talking and saying something, or things just not meant to be? Is this like, because when I walked in the building, I had him for like 38 to 40 minutes. If he's not in foul trouble, like knowing who's going to be out and not available and all the stuff, like, and then he goes down like really early. So it's just, I'm scared to wake up. I hope I wake up tomorrow. I hope I will, but I'm scared to see what tomorrow brings.
Yeah. It's a tough situation there for the Sun Devils, down 4 starters. But again, they're not quitting in a lot of these games. Even right after the loss of B.J. Freeman, they went down to Texas and gave Texas Tech all they wanted, a 4-point loss to to TCU. But it's been a little bit tougher in these last 3 ball games leading into this game here tonight. They have been able to scratch out a win in the last 3, but Bobby just happy the way his kids are fighting down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this most of the time in the losses, but it's, we didn't have 4 starters in the game, and for a variety of reasons. And, I mean, it's not easy. So, I give them a lot of credit, a lot of respect for, not mailing it in, not putting their head down or feeling sorry for themselves. I thought we did the best we could, and the score, I think they were better. I mean, they had more options, more, guys. And we had guys playing that haven't really played much or aren't in these roles or haven't been all year, and that's just the circumstances we're in. But they all stepped up and they gave us something, and they fought again.
Arizona State got a win at Kansas State, but back-to-back losses now to BYU and Utah. Lost by 26 points on the road in Salt Lake City over the weekend, and coming into Tucson with losses now in 8 of their last 9 games. Let's pause right here for station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
Along with Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden, my name is David Kelly. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. It is Territorial Cup Series night here in Southern Arizona, senior night. Arizona versus Arizona State. The rivalry is renewed here this evening. Tommy Lloyd, not sure who's going to be out there in the starting lineup for the Sun Devils. How does he deal with that coming into tonight?
I have no idea.
I mean, I wish Bobby would just text me and tell me who's playing and who's not playing, but it doesn't quite work like that, Bruce. But
I mean, it sounds like they're down to 7 guys.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know he hasn't played, but that doesn't mean he won't play tomorrow. So, you know, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't get the luxury of knowing, and so we'll have to prepare for all those things.
Arizona leads the all-time series with Arizona State 162-86 so that's a margin of what, about 76 games? 76 games.
Almost a double
on the plus side for the Wildcats in this rivalry. Arizona has won the last 4 meetings. ASU, though, did win here 2 years ago. You might remember it. It was the last-second shot to beat the Wildcats in 2023. Last year, though, Arizona won big by 45 points, 105-60. They are an 18.5-point favorite tonight here at home against the Arizona State Sun Devils. So should be a lot of fun between these two teams. Always is. Always good to see Bobby Hurley coming into the building. A lot of speculation on if this will maybe be the last time we see Bobby Hurley. No one knows exactly what his future is going to be. We'll dive into that coming up a little bit later in our scouting report. Michelle Gardner writes the beat for the Arizona Republic, and she will join us on the show. We'll get her thoughts on the state of this club as they come in here reeling and limping, and what the future for Bobby Hurley might just be. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Much more coming for you straight ahead, but Arizona and Arizona State will tip off tonight at 9 o'clock. And that's our first look at today's Arizona Wildcats men's basketball game. The first look at the game is brought to you by Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com. And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors Arizona's top rebounding performance every game. It's the Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the game. Might be the Wildcat with the most rebounds. Might be the U of A star with the most impactful boards. Could be somebody from the other team. We'll tell you the Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the game coming up tonight on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. Much more straight ahead. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
With energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic. Good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic. Good health is to enjoy.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at CoolWillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining, you know.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
You know, it's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants and the spider, scorpion. I saw a scorpion, and I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Over to Lloyd, right corner. Whiteman steps left, shoots, banked it in for three. Another one of the seniors, and the fans love it.
Our pregame show, Spotlight on a Cat, is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet. Senior night for your Arizona Wildcats tonight at McHale Center. There'll be a whole host of folks that will be honored this evening. Players and managers. And although they don't do the band on the floor, I mean, they've been honoring, I think, their seniors for the last few home games as well. Always sad, the last home game of the year. We've seen some very great performances. We've seen some emotional moments, guys leaving the court. T.J. McConnell, remember him kissing the floor. And who was it? Gabe York, I think, scored like 30-something points his senior night against, I believe it was against Stanford, just raining threes all night long in recent years. Some great, great memories of senior night here for your Arizona Wildcats. And hopefully tonight will be another memory for one of those guys that'll be honored this evening. There will be 6 players: Liam Lloyd, Will Menard of Catalina Foothills High School, Luke Champion, Grant Whiteman out of South Point Catholic High School, Trey Townsend, first year here in Tucson, and Caleb Love in his second year here with the Wildcats. Interesting, Grant Whiteman obviously played at South Point Catholic, was on that state championship team there. Tommy Lloyd talked a little bit about Grant and Will, the two local guys who make up used to make up his walk-on class. Grant was given a scholarship late last semester, so he's actually on scholarship for this spring semester. But Tommy talking about Grant Whiteman and Will Menard.
Wow, the story behind him. Okay, here we go. Grant was a part of the program when I came here, and I think he must have obviously redshirted that first year, and because he's been with us the past 4 years, and he's just a great young man from a great family that's has a long history with Arizona basketball. From his dad, his uncle, but both being rabid fans and supporters, and from his grandpa being Lute Olson's best friend. So he just been an awesome guy to have around, every way, every day. Will Manaw, when I first got the job, I think the plan was for him to walk on with the former staff, and so we did this is back in the Zoom area. We did a Zoom with him and his family, and just solidified that. And Will's come here, and he's crushed it academically. Like I said, he's already got a job out at Raytheon. That he had, heading into his senior year of college. So that's says enough about him right there. And Grant, stepping back to him, Grant's a good player, and so is Will. But Grant, I thought, maybe he should spread his wings and go play somewhere. So we tried to look at a few opportunities for him to do that, and there were some real opportunities for him to maybe go to some Division I programs and play. And he would have earned playing time at those places, and I was really pushing him to do it. And not that I didn't love him, but I just thought it would be like, good opportunity for him to actually, you put in all this work, now go do it and live the ups and downs of actually playing. And I pushed him, and I remember we had like an emotional meeting in my office, and then he kind of left and didn't make a decision, and he came back with one of the coolest quotes of all time about Arizona basketball. He said, I love basketball, but I love Arizona basketball more, so I'm going to come back. And I was like, wow, that's pretty powerful. And when you have young men like that serving your program, it's pretty special to come to work with those guys every single day.
I love basketball, but I love Arizona basketball more. Pretty impressive there from young Grant Whiteman.
Yeah, man. No, that's deep right there, man. That's deep, man. You're good enough. You hear the guys always talking about that he's good enough to actually play. And so when you see him in a situation to where he want to come back and actually walk on again and risk sitting on the bench and not getting a chance to play, that just lets you know the level of love that he actually have for the program. I thought Will could go play somewhere as well. He's 6'11". Somebody could use a 6'11" big guy that can run the court and has 4 years of training at the U of A, J-Dub. Somebody could have used him as well, but these guys got they already know what they want to do and their love for the program. They just didn't want to leave.
Yeah, the better your scout team is, the better your team is. So that's what I hear with that statement. It's the idea of, you could go up and put up 15, 20 points at some school and, get some kind of all-conference award at some lower level. But being on the Arizona bench means that you're prepping those guys, Kelvin, every day for what's coming next. And in a conference where, they've seen more, again, I'll repeat the stat. They've played more top 25 teams in conference this year than the last 4 Pac-12 seasons combined. So there's a game in, game out, week in, week out, guys. You're going to see tough competition. That's what the scout team is for. It's for prepping. It's for taking on the roles of those guys on those other teams. So, yeah, coming back to help the Arizona Wildcats basketball team this year be as good as it possibly can be is very noble.
Caleb Love went through senior night last year. He'll do it again this year. What it means to him to walk one more time.
I'm going to embrace everything and, enjoy it and, just try to, have as much fun as I can with my teammates.
At this time last year, did you think that you would be coming back, or did you think the NBA was where you were headed, or the pros?
Yeah, I didn't really have I didn't know. I didn't know. Obviously, my mind was probably just trying to win, in March, and, now we're here.
Tommy Lloyd has all season long talked about Caleb Love and what he means to this program, and tonight going to be a special night for him.
He's been a lot. I think Caleb's a special dude, and I can't think of many people his age that have had the life experiences he's had, and he's had to endure a lot. He's also been had a lot of special moments, as well. So, I think there's, I don't want to make it a one-way deal where he's been victimized. because he's had a lot of success. He's got a lot of positive attention, but there's been another side to it with him that to be honest with you, I have never quite experienced in college athletics. So I hope people take a step back and kind of take a breath and, and appreciate him, and all he's been through. And, that doesn't mean they have to love every shot he's taken or pat him on the back when he doesn't play great, whatever. I mean, that's their choice. But you have to respect how he's handled his business on a day-to-day basis. So I'm proud that we've been a part of it, and I think Arizona was a perfect spot for him to come have this opportunity. And I'm thankful that the university, the program, the athletic department, was all on the same page to give him that opportunity.
His legacy obviously has yet to finish being written here with this program. It has been 24 years now since the Wildcats last went to a Final Four. So there have been a lot of stars of teams who have had that opportunity but not been able to carry the Wildcats back to that promised land. Caleb Love will have one more shot to do that. And if he can, think about that, because all those guys that came along before, the guys that we talk about every single night that have formed the legacy of what this program is all about, the guys from the 88 team, they were the first ones to do it. So they're always going to go down in that legacy. Everybody that came after that continued it, but was a continuation of that first group. Caleb Love could put himself in a different stratosphere if he could be that guy to lead this program. He could be, I think, and I'll ask you guys, he could be in that same conversation with those 88 guys because it's been so long for this program.
Well, I was there for 88, so let me take this one, Kelvin. That 88 team was the best team in Arizona history. That was 8 guys who got to the Final Four. So it wasn't one guy. It was all of them. You want to talk about connectivity? Go watch some film. You will never see a more connected team than that group, who, guess what, had 3 fifth-year seniors, had the best player in Arizona Wildcats history. And the same goes for this year's team. I think if Caleb, averages, hypothetically, 30 points, Kelvin Ifon, and Arizona gets to the Final Four, obviously he'll get flowers. But here's the truth. It takes so much luck along the way in 2025. There is no more better team. There's no more best teams because, not to mention transfer portal and NIL, but just the idea, the landscape of college basketball in those days was sit as a freshman, learn as a sophomore, star as a junior, all-star as a senior. That was the way it was for every single program in America. And what have we talked about all season long? Incorporating guys like Trey Townsend, Anthony Del Orso into the system as your rotation, Kelvin, guys you need to get the job done night in, night out. It's so tough for me to put it at one guy's feet because, to me, now this is just my opinion, it's not one guy. There's no team has won the NCAA championship in the modern era with one dude. None of them.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program if you'd like to share your thoughts on this conversation and the legacy that is Caleb Love.
Well, I'll add to that. Yeah, I think, though, what DK is saying, and I actually feel the same way, for this team to get there, for this team to have a chance to get to the 4, he's going to have to play ridiculous. And I think
how about just not shoot 33%?
Well, that'd be great because that'd be playing ridiculous, right? I mean, that means he's be playing well. If he plays well, because even in those seasons, I go back and I think about the other one we have with Khalid Reeves and those guys. You had to have some guys that's making things happen, and other guys are playing roles, to help you get to that situation. So, yeah, when Caleb Love plays well, this team looks different, and I don't think nobody can deny that.
Yeah, I mean, everything in the NCAA tournament is off of 1 or 2 guys being unstoppable, and then all of the other guys knocking down open shots.
Being up.
Right. The issue, I think, with Caleb is a very unique player in that when Caleb goes 4 for 5, in the first 8 minutes of a game, he has 15 shot attempts in the first half. Right? I mean, Kelvin, he is a guy who, when he sees the ball go through again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Mm-hmm. And not to say that's not a recipe for a deep run in the NCAA tournament, but it's really more drawing and getting the confidence of your teammates. Without teammates' confidence, guys, there is no deep run in the NCAA tournament. That's what I'm saying. It's no longer a case of you can have one guy.
And I'm not trying to go back and forth, but what I said was, if Caleb plays well, the other guys play well, and that's your teammates that you're talking about. I think when he plays well, it comes that freshman Carter Bryant down. I mean, he starts to knock down shots. It seems like Delorso starts to knock down shots. It seems like when Caleb is playing well, and maybe the other guys are playing well, so Caleb is playing well. I don't know what it is.
But we've also talked about guys standing around and watching Caleb go to work. Like, that's been a conversation in the last 3 weeks. So that
haven't been my conversation.
If Caleb is playing well and the other guys are playing awesome off of his aggressive offensive game and he's knocking down outside shots, then it just opens up everything for everybody else. When your best player, I mean, obviously, when the best scorer on your team is playing well, it makes it easier for everybody else.
Of course. But what I had said previously was that I felt like the other guys didn't want to shoot. That's what I said. Go check the recordings. I said I felt like they didn't want to shoot. I felt like when games get tight, games get tough in real life basketball, when things get tight, some guys ain't looking to shoot. And if they do, it's one weird shot that for a three that they should be driving to the basket, right? So that's what I see, what I've been seeing. And I know everybody got their own opinion of what they see. But I just, on this particular team, I would love the total round team and everybody is doing great. It just seemed to me that when Caleb is playing well and shots are flowing and he's smiling, all the other guys. And I also heard them say that as well on some of the plays that you guys play. They were saying, I heard Carter Bryant said, I heard Townsend said as well. I even heard what's big fella name, Awaka said, when he's playing well, we all seem to play well as well. So it's in some mind or something that they're feeling.
Interesting things to say right there. Interesting examples of what Caleb Love can be for this team and how they move forward potentially to where they want to be with him leading the way. I still think that the thing I'm going to look at, I think the thing I always look back is I look back to the women's team, and I look back to how Ari McDonald lifted that group during their run. And because she essentially, and I remember it like it was yesterday, 2021, she didn't finish the season very well. She was, because I remember I did a couple of reports on TV. I said, she was shooting like 39% or something of that nature through like the last 6 or 7 games. I said, if she shoots 39% in the postseason, it's going to be a quick end of the postseason for that team. And she was able to raise her game to a different level and help carry that team to the national championship game within a shot of winning it all. And I think that Caleb Love for this team is kind of in that same realm and could be the person that could potentially lift them to that place with the help, of course, of the guys around him, but with him leading the charge. 520-848-1290. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, and much more coming up for you straight ahead. I'm David Kelly. We've got Kelvin Efon. We've got J.W. Madden here as well. We'll continue to take a spotlight and shine it on our seniors, but that is our first spotlight for tonight. That's today's Spotlight on a Cat. It's brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona basketball is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Hour one of the pregame show is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Postal Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management, wealth well managed, life well lived.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Rightway is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 9,000 five-star Google reviews, you can trust Rightway to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Rightway today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Upgrade with new windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom order windows to fit your style and budget. With our exclusive SI window brand made right here in the USA, you'll get a full lifetime warranty, including glass replacement, for ultimate peace of mind. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you and start your project today. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 5-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's still free furnace season. For a limited time until the last day of winter, you can get a free furnace with the purchase and installation of a qualifying HVAC system. Now is the time to start planning for the long, hot Tucson summer. Hurry, this deal won't last long. For fast, reliable, and honest service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Go Wildcats! As the new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, the Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Caleb on a breakaway windmill jam.
Arizona basketball never sleeps.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We're getting closer to tip-off for today's Arizona basketball game. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Robinson between the rings, get to Posey, knocked away by Lewis. KJ sends it inbounds to Love. Caleb on the run, slam it home. Turnovers leading to fast breaks. Now 2.2 left, 3-point lead for Iowa State. Wildcats will inbound the ball. They need a 3 to get to overtime. Del Orso running the line. Get it off to Love. Love, midcourt. Shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime.
Let's take a look at the Right Way rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
Hour number 2 of our pregame show. DK with TL is coming up. My questions to Tommy Lloyd this week, as always, sponsored by Nobody. College basketball scoreboard, Goldberg and Osborne. The injury lawyers will bring you that. We'll let you know everything that's happening and has happened. Houston won the league, and everybody thought they'd lose to Kansas. That didn't happen. Your scouting report, Michelle Gardner from the Arizona Republic will tell you all about the Sun Devils. Best bets over at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. U of A 18.5-point favorite. Over-under is 155 tonight. Luis Denoin will join us. He is the Spanish language play-by-play man for your Arizona Wildcats. And that is your view from courtside, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Keys to the game, starting lineups, all of that coming up straight ahead as we continue here with your Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Time now, though, to hear from the head coach, DK with TL. As always, it is sponsored by Nobody. Wildcats coming off a 17-point loss on the road at Iowa State, a game in which the Cyclones knocked down 11 threes. How about that game, Tommy Lloyd?
Well, I thought we started off the game good defensively, and we got in transition a few times, and, we just didn't capitalize. And then, you don't capitalize, and, obviously they're a great half-court defensive team, and baskets come hard, and, then they hit a barrage of threes, and it made it tough to overcome.
After the ball game, Tommy, you had indicated that the guys maybe defensively had made some mistakes in terms of tagging the screener. Was that something they just fell back into, or?
It's hard. I don't know if fell back into it. I mean, listen, you're always making mistakes. I mean, that's part of the game. I mean, this time of year, they're a good team. They ran a couple of things. A couple of them were, maybe just a little bit over-helping in certain areas, and a couple of them were maybe just guys not, having awareness on a certain action, versus a good player. And at the end of the day, it's one of those deals. And, you make a mistake. Sometimes the saving grace in basketball is they missed the shot. Mistake. And the tougher thing to deal with is you make the mistake and they make the shot. And they had a couple of those in a row during that stretch. So, things we'll continue to talk about. But again, things that aren't 100% easy to do. It's just not a matter of, you going on video and saying, look at this mistake they made. But now you got to go coach humans against other really good humans that are making a play. So there's therein lies the challenge of coaching and playing. So, I'm not overreacting to any of that stuff.
When you went back and evaluated the tape, Tommy, why did you see that Anthony didn't take a single shot in that game?
I mean, just didn't get any opportunities. Obviously, Iowa State's a great defensive team, and he just didn't get any space or get any touches. So, we got to try to help him with that, and also he's got to be opportunistic and try to find him. It's always a two-way street with that stuff.
And Iowa State took away a little bit of your team's ability to cut to the basket in that game Saturday. What needs to happen when teams are trying to take that away?
Well, I mean, listen, Iowa State's obviously a great defensive team, and they played exceptionally well that day. So, I don't know if they were intentionally trying to take away our cuts, or I don't know if their ball pressure and, the pressure they put on their passing lanes, kind of inhibited the ball movement. And if there's no ball movement, it's hard to cut. So, listen, Iowa State did a great job. They did a great job, and obviously we watched it. We're gonna try to learn from it and move on to the next one. But that's behind us. We got, the big story here is we got Arizona State at home tomorrow on Senior Day. If we win, I think we secure a top 4 seed, which would be a heck of an accomplishment for this team. Obviously, we want to finish as high in the conference as possible. But I'm proud of the opportunity that we have, because you know what, we could have folded our tent, and this group never has, and so I think that says something about the program and about the players in it.
What are the biggest struggles you've seen with ASU in the last 3 games?
Obviously they've had a lot of injuries, and they're kind of mismatching some lineups together, and so, this is what I'll say. They always battle. They always battle. I mean, at Utah last week, I think they're up at half. And, in the game kind of maybe got away from them at the end, but they battled the entire time, and I think they only had 6 scholarship players. And, we're probably anticipating a few more of those guys that were injured of being healthy tomorrow. But, honestly, I don't really concern myself with their struggles. I have to concern myself with what I think they do well. And what I think they do well, I think they fight. I think they're shot makers. I think they're aggressive guys who, can be streaky. And so you have to be on it. And if you're not on it with your energy and your effort and your focus and execution, they can have success. So, that's the thing that always has my attention against, Bobby's teams. And I expected nothing short of that tomorrow.
All right, that was the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. My questions to the head coach, DK with TL. And if you want to sponsor that, because currently it is sponsored by nobody, so give us a call, 520-848-1290. Actually, 520-887-1000. We'll put you in touch with somebody that can make you the sponsor of our weekly chat with the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. 520-848-1290 is the number again to get in on the program. Let's take a look at what is happening around college basketball tonight.
Let's take a look at what's happening around the rest of the country. The College Basketball Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
All right, Big 12 last night. Houston at home wins again, 65-59 over Kansas. They did. A lot of people thought maybe they'd take the night off, rest some people. Nope. Number 3 team in the country does it again. 26-4, 18-1. LJ Cryer, 22 points in that ball game. Kansas 10-9, 19-11, as they will be playing on the second day of the Big 12 men's basketball tournament coming up next week in Kansas City. One game being played already tonight in the Big 12. Baylor on the road at TCU. Both those teams are 9-9 in conference play, and Baylor leads 31-29. That game is late first half. One other game tonight, actually 2 other games tonight, I should say. BYU number 23 at number 10, Iowa State. That should be a fun one. The Cougars have won 6 in a row. Will they continue their winning ways in Ames tonight? Another big ball game in Ames. Elsewhere, Utah will host West Virginia. Both those teams are 8-10 in conference play. Top 25 scoreboard tonight. Nothing yet is final. Limited number of games on the docket. 25th ranked Mississippi State leading Texas 32-28 late first. Number 19 Kentucky all over LSU 90-54. That game is late second half. About 7 minutes to go second half. Number 18 Purdue leading Rutgers 84-58. And in the American Conference, number 16 Memphis on the road leading Texas San Antonio 66-59 with about 7.5 minutes to go in the second half of that ball game.
Back to the Iowa State BYU game. That's why Coach Lloyd said if Arizona wins tonight, they wrap up a top 4 seed, is because right now Arizona has 5 losses in conference. Both Iowa State and BYU have 6 losses, and they're playing each other, meaning one of those 2 teams is guaranteed to have 7 losses after tonight. If Arizona wins tonight, they cannot have 7 losses. Therefore, they would be guaranteed a top 4 seed, because right now they have a 1-game lead on both those 2 teams, but they're playing in 15 minutes. So those 2 teams playing tonight means that if Arizona beats ASU, they wrap up a top 4 seed.
7 o'clock will be the tip-off time there tonight in Ames between the Cougars and the Iowa State Cyclones. That's your first check of the scoreboard for tonight.
The College Basketball Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
Senior night tonight at McHale Center. One of the seniors that will be honored will be Trey Townsend, finishing up his only season here. He had a senior night last year at his first college in Oakland of Michigan, but looking forward to tonight's game as well.
Obviously, it's still an honor to be able to have a senior night at any program, especially one like this. The situation at Oakland for me, that was, a childhood dream that I was able to live out. And, and close that chapter there and have that senior night. That was something I always wanted to do at that school. And then obviously we had a historic year as well, so that was a great thing. And then to be able to come to a place like this and also, have a senior day, I'm very fortunate. And like Caleb said, I'm just going to embrace it all and enjoy the whole experience.
Caleb Love and Trey Townsend met the media yesterday, and I asked the two of them what they have enjoyed about playing with each other. Trey first.
What's it been like for you to play with Caleb, a guy like Caleb?
I mean, it's been amazing. Being at a smaller school like Oakland, we'd always be watching, the high major games and seeing guys like Caleb just play on national TV. So to be able to be a part of that and play with them and, experience it firsthand, it's been great, on the court, but also, off the court, we've built a great relationship and, being able to spend time with him and all the other guys, it's been such a special thing.
And how about you, Caleb? What have you enjoyed about playing with Trey?
He's just so versatile. He can do so many things on the court, especially his defensive growth over the course of the year has been great. And, he's just an everyday guy. You need guys like that on your team where, things may not be going well for him or things may be going, great for him. But, you can't tell with his, his body language, his approach to the, floor. Each and every day he's going to come in with, a smile on his face. And, like he said, he's great on the court, but off the court he's a great person. And, we've built a great relationship where, I can call him probably 5-10 years from now and, see what he's doing. And we probably link back up. But, yeah, it's been amazing, not only him, but, just to build a relationship with this core of guys. And I'm excited to see, where we can take this thing.
Another of the walk-ons who will be honored tonight is Luke Champion. He's in his third season here at the University of Arizona. Started his career at Samford, where he played for a season or was there during the COVID year. So he has the extra year there from playing 5 years. He played his second year at Missouri Western before landing here at Arizona. Now in his third season, he had connections with the head coach, and that's one of the reasons he landed here in Tucson.
Well, Champ's he's an unbelievable young man. Like Luke Champion is someone I've known for a long time. His dad was a former great player at Gonzaga. Played in the NBA, played overseas. Caught passes from John Stockton, and Luke and Liam are the same age and kind of played on the same. They were living in Atlanta. Obviously, we were in Spokane. So, his dad and I developed a relationship over the years, and then Luke and Liam ended up kind of on the same AAU circuit. So we got to spend a lot of time together. And, Luke, I mean, he signed at Samford out of high school. I mean, he was a Division I player, and just one thing led to another. And, they reached out to me one day, and they actually had some family connections in Tucson. And, what happens a lot of times when, Luke came to Tucson, his parents moved out here a year later. And his parents were empty nesting it back in Atlanta and wondering what they were doing. And so his parents moved out here. And, his dad's very successful in the business world. So, it's really cool to see to see all these things, So we're excited. We also got a couple great managers we're honoring tomorrow. Elon and Coleman, those guys have been unbelievable. And you guys know the affinity I have for student managers. I mean, to me, if you're looking for someone to hire, I would start there, with guys that have come in that, have served others over themselves in a role that doesn't seem too sexy. And I think if you looked at a number of successful coaches out there, whether it's at the NBA level or the college level, a lot of them started out as student managers. And so, I want to make sure those guys, people understand what they mean to our program because, the work they put in is tireless. I have no idea how they get good grades and with the workload that they carry within our program.
Shout out to the student managers because they trust me. I'm an ex-student manager myself. There's a lot of work that goes involved into those positions. So always like to shout out those young men that are performing that job right now. Luke Champion's dad, Mike, played 4 minutes in the NBA in 1984 with the Seattle Supersonics. Some of the guys that were on that team, a laundry list of names.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Cage, Dale Ellis, Avery Johnson, Alton Lister, John Lucas, Xavier McDaniel, Derek McKee, Nate McMillan, Olden Polonies, Brad Sellers, Sadell Threet. A lot of big names from the 1980s on that team. That was, 1989. 1989, the 88-89 Seattle Supersonics. And Mike Champion got 4 minutes on that team. Cup of coffee. Trying to see what their final.
Sean Kempton wasn't there?
No, he was early 90s. Yeah, he was early 90s because I was still in college.
Okay.
I was still in college. I saw him. I saw him play in the summer league.
I was in high school. Okay.
They finished 47-35. They finished third place in the Pacific Division behind the Los Angeles Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. All right, that is your latest look at senior night for your Arizona Wildcats. We're going to find out more about what's going on with the Sun Devils coming up next. Michelle Gardner from the Arizona Republic will join us. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day continues on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Caleb on a breakaway windmill jam.
Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' Cay with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingCay.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of a home remodel, don't stress. The Window Depot is here to help. At the Window Depot, we're your one-stop warehouse for everything you need for your next remodel. Windows? Check. Doors? Got it. Cabinets, countertops, and everything in between, you'll find it all here at the lowest prices. Whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, or whole home makeover, our experienced designers are ready to bring your dream home to life, all at unbeatable prices. Find a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden. Time now for a look at today's Wildcat opponent. The Scouting Report is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. Jack Furrier, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Senior night at McHale Center, Wildcats and Sun Devils to wrap up the home schedule. Arizona State comes into Tucson limping. Let's find out exactly how much they're limping. Pleased to be joined by the beat writer from the Arizona Republic, Michelle Gardner, joins us. And Michelle, we were just talking a little bit before we got on the air here, and who knows who's going to play tonight, right, for Arizona State?
I don't know. Literally, it's show up at the game and see who's there, who's not. It's just been like this pretty much since Big 12 play started. And it's really pretty disappointing for ASU people because they were sitting at 9-2 through non-conference play and had played a very good non-conference schedule. Only losses in non-conference were to Florida and Gonzaga, so it was looking good. And then it all started literally the first game of Big 12 play when Josan Sannon got hurt against BYU and missed 5 games. So it's just been a revolving door. Who's healthy? And, Bobby can't even practice right now. They literally don't have enough players to run a practice.
Wow. That's a tough situation, obviously, for any team. Jaden Quinton's dealing with a knee. Adam Miller's got a hip situation. Do you think those two will play tonight?
No. Well, Quaintance, I don't think Quaintance comes back. They're kind of going on a game-to-game thing, but I don't think he comes back. That's my hunch. They're not going to risk it. This is a young man with great potential. Bobby is usually on the conservative side when it comes to bringing guys back. So I don't think he plays. I think Miller's a game-time decision. But even going back to the Utah game that ASU played on Saturday, they go into that game, they're without Adam Miller. They're without Quaintance. Bashir Jihad had the flu all day. He played, but he didn't practice in the shoot around, and he basically played with the flu. Alston Mason had missed the previous game with the flu when he came back. But it's literally, you literally don't know 1 minute to the next. And then let's not forget B.J. Freeman being dismissed from the team, and he's the leading scorer. So, that happened 2 weeks ago. So it's just been ugly. It's been frustrating. I'm sure that Arizona fans don't care about their rivals' problems, but it's just too bad it's come to this because I think we saw great potential in this team.
Michelle Gardner's joining us. It is your Scouting Report. It's brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960. Here to get you there. And I want to go back to that last point you made because, there was so much to look forward to. One of the best recruiting classes that Bobby has ever had there. Obviously, being able to get Josan Sanu to flip from Arizona to Arizona State after Caleb Love decided to come by, helped energize that. When did you was it right from the beginning that there was the appearance that, this is maybe not going to be what we thought it was? Starting even back with the situation with Brandon Gardner.
That goes even back further. So when you look at the lack of scholarship players, I think that one thing people are forgetting is, Bobby's been going with a rotation of 8 players, but that was because, number one, Austin Nunez was lost 4 games into the year. He's done for the season with a foot injury. So he's down for the count. Brandon Gardner has never played. Basically, it's been not showing up for meetings, just not being on board, being late, this, that, and the other. So he literally hasn't played a game. They had another player, Bryson Long, who played last year. He has an epileptic condition that never got remedied, so he's out. So that's basically 3 scholarships right there that are basically, you're done. You're not using them. And that's before guys even started going down during the season. So, yeah, it literally, I think one thing that Bobby does need to do, and this is assuming he comes back, and that's the $64,000 question, I think he needs to do a better job of character assessment in who you're bringing in. Whether it's B.J. Freeman or Brandon Gardner, maybe those guys weren't the ones that were best suited to bring in. So maybe you got to vet your players a little bit better as to who's a good team guy and who's going to work into what you want to do. So I think maybe he can do a little bit better job of that. But yeah, it's literally, and even Sannon, like I said, Sannon got hurt, came back for 1 game, then he was down again. And really the last game was the first game that he actually started showing any sort of, similarity to the player we saw before he got hurt, because when he came back, he wasn't playing well. So it's literally just been a little mess of everything.
Yeah, you mentioned his injury. He had a sprained ankle and missed 5 out of 8 games due to that situation. But coming off his career-high performance against Utah, 28 points with 4 or 5 from 3. You mentioned the $64 million question. So what do you think is going to happen with Bobby Hurley?
I think it's 50-50. And I get that fans here are, understandably upset, frustrated at the lack of, this is going to be his 2 worst years, are these 2 years. But I think you've got to consider the injuries. I still think Bobby's a great recruiter. He got guys like Jaden Quaintance and Josan Sannon to come here when they don't have the best facilities and they don't have the best resources as far as basketball. So he's a good recruiter. And I don't think anybody can argue that. I think you got to give him 1 more year. I think maybe next year's the put up or shut up year because of the players he's got coming in, the players he could potentially have coming back. I think if he is gone, now those guys are leaving. And there's nothing to say that they're definitely coming back, because who's to say that some other school doesn't come around and offer Jaden $4 million or something, because we know that happens. Mm-hmm. But I think that if the players, these freshmen do really like Bobby. So if Bobby is all of a sudden ushered aside or he decides to leave, then they're definitely not coming back. So when you look at what could be coming back, and again, that you never know, but the 3 freshmen have played very well this year. You've got Sean Phillips, who I think has developed quite a bit in his last month. Adam Miller actually has another year. I don't know if he's coming back, but he has another year. And then you've got Austin Nunez, hopefully coming back from the foot injury. They could return a good balance of the roster, unlike previous years. But I think if Bobby doesn't come back, now I think you've got to bring in another coach, and now you are starting from ground zero, because I don't think any of those players come back if he's not here. And then the players that he has recruited and signed, who knows if they still come. So I think it kind of would be almost a backward thing if he didn't come back and a new coach had to come in and really start over.
It is Arizona and Arizona State tonight. Before we continue, let's pause for station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
Pleased to be joined by Michelle Gardner from the Arizona Republic. It is your scouting report of the Sun Devils, brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there. You mentioned, Michelle, that the players really like Bobby. Is that what does he sell? Does he sell his personality? What's kind of the attraction that he's been able to get some of these kids to come in? Because you mentioned maybe the facilities aren't as good as some other places.
Well, they're not good as any place, really. I just think that, he's a guy that's played, he's arguably the greatest point guard that's ever played the game at the college level. I don't think anybody can dispute that. And if you're a point guard, why would you not want to play for this guy that's literally done everything? And he really does go to bat for his players, maybe too much so. We've seen that in the heat of combat. But he really does go to bat for his players, and I've never heard him say anything bad. Even I go back to the Marcus Bagley situation when he defended Marcus Bagley more than the player deserved, and he always had Marcus's back, and he's kind of always had his players' back. So I think that's a big part of it, and I think him playing at the elite level that he played at, I think that's a big draw for guards. So I think that's a big part of it, and I'd like to see him come back because I think that the one thing that we hate as writers is having to do coach search stories. It's like the biggest pain in the butt thing to write. I hate it. So, and I'd like to see him back because I think that he's learning as a coach too. I think he's kind of learned a little bit this year. One thing I'd like to see, I think at the end of the year, he's going to have a meeting with Graham Rossini, the athletic director, and they're going to have a good heart-to-heart come-to-Jesus meeting. And I think Graham is going to kind of ask him to tone it down a little bit. But the other factor we're seeing this year is the Big 12 factor. This is not a year like other years because this is a year where teams that were in a very easy conference when it came to travel are now dealing with extreme circumstances as far as the travel schedule. So I think that he's going to meet with the athletic director and they can say, what can we do to better address travel situations? What worked? What didn't work? So I think that they can tackle that a little bit better too. And then from a recruiting personnel, you can watch all the film you want, but now that Bobby's been in the heat of the battle and seen these games close up, what the Big 12 offers and the style of play, I think he can probably go out and see what players better are suited to play in this conference. So I think it was a learning year all the way around from a lot of aspects.
What did you make, Michelle, of the whole situation at the end of the last game where they opted not to do the handshake line?
I get it. I think Bobby admitted that he was wrong and he kind of wouldn't do it the same way again. When I heard Tommy Lloyd on the same radio station the next day, he said he didn't have a problem with it. He gets it. I think that cooler heads have to prevail, and I understand why he did it. I'm not saying it was a right thing. And obviously the headbutt situation, that was a different dynamic, and that was totally wrong on the player's part. So, I think it's a rivalry game, and a lot of that stuff always takes on more significance because of that game. But, I've seen teams do that in the past, and I've even covered, when I came from California, I covered many a high school football rivalry games, and they didn't shake hands at the end. They shook hands at the beginning just because of that. So it's not like the first time I've seen that, situation where they didn't shake hands after the game.
Michelle Gardner from the Arizona Republic is our guest. Michelle, in terms of this new arrival into the Big 12, 4 conference championships for the Arizona State program. The swimming brought home a couple over the weekend. Obviously, football picked to finish 16th. They win the title. Volleyball has another very solid year. How do you see this transition in the first year for Arizona State?
I think it's been pretty good. And then you're looking at a couple sports, too, where ASU does traditionally well with the golf teams, and track they usually do pretty well. I think to win 4 conference titles, and especially doing so in the 2 major sports for women volleyball and obviously football, that's pretty stellar. And when you look at what the teams have coming back, too, I think both are going to be good next year. As much as ASU football loses Cam Scoutaboo, they're returning 18 starters. That's pretty scary. If I'm an opponent and I'm looking at this team that won and they're returning 18 starters, including Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson. That's a pretty good place to start. And then I think this running back from Army, Kanye Udo, he's going to probably step in for Scadaboo, and they're probably not going to miss a beat. So it's been a lot of fun. I think 4 conference titles, and we're not even, we're barely started into the spring. I think that's a pretty good haul, I think.
You brought up Cam Scadaboo, so I have to ask about your favorite thing covering that guy.
Oh, he leaves you speechless, literally. Like, he'll bounce off a tackle, and you're like, okay, how did he do that? Well, he does that all the time. So I don't know if I've ever seen a guy capture a fan base the way Cam Scadaboo has done in the last 2 years. How do you not root for the kid? Everybody's ruled him out. He's always been the underdog, came from Sacramento State, and he's now going to probably be a 3rd-round draft pick. So I don't know how you root against a guy that just does that.
There you go. Can't root against our guy Trenton Bourguet either. Good to see that he's going to stay on there and begin his coaching career with the Sun Devils.
Yeah, no, we knew. It was kind of a standing joke last year. We said Trenton Bourguet is never, ever going away. He's going to just be here forever. So even before he got named the coach, an assistant coach, that was kind of a wink, wink, nod, like the biggest, the biggest no-brainer that anybody ever saw coming. Like, we knew he was never going away. But no, he's a great guy. He's from your area. So yes, everybody here loves Trenton Bourguet.
Michelle, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us and have a great time covering this one. I hope we find out who plays here shortly.
Yeah, well, literally, I have to take a roll call and see when I show up who is shooting around. That's literally when I know.
Michelle Gardner from the Arizona Republic, that is your scouting report.
And that's the lowdown on the team U of A is about to face on the hardwood. The scouting report has been brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. Jack Furrier. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
I love my weekend rides across Arizona. I travel with all the protection I need. Helmet, gloves, leathers, and the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle fights hard to help injured riders across the state. Whether we're cruising through Carefree, slow riding in Sedona, or breezing through Bisbee, they find you doctors, manage medical bills, and get you back on your bike with the most money possible. Injured riding? The bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining,
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
It's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants and the spider, a scorpion. I saw a scorpion, and I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Looking to upgrade your home? The Window Depot is your go-to spot for Milgard windows and patio doors. Select from a variety of styles, including aluminum, vinyl, or fiberglass, to start your journey to a brighter, more beautiful home. The Window Depot has Milgard windows in stock, ready to go home today, or their team can help you with a special order. Whether you're looking for energy efficiency, aesthetic appeal, or custom solutions, they've got you covered. Build the home you deserve with Milgard windows and doors from the Window Depot. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of a home remodel, don't stress. The Window Depot is here to help. At the Window Depot, we're your one-stop warehouse for everything you need for your next remodel. Windows? Check. Doors? Got it. Cabinets, countertops, and everything in between? You'll find it all here at the lowest prices. Whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, or whole home makeover, our experienced designers are ready to bring your dream home to life, all at unbeatable prices. Find a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway and discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion. If you can't be at the game, then you should be at Dave & Buster's. It's the best place to eat, watch, drink, and play. Watch your favorite team throughout the entire tournament. Take a walk on the $1 Million Midway where you can play the biggest and newest arcade games. So when your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's. Watch all the sports you want. They have massive HD TVs, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Grab by Walker, ahead to Townsend, and to K.J. Lewis. Back to Townsend, slam it home for two.
Trey Townsend knew what to do with the ball when he got it in the middle of the floor in the backcourt. Find a guard and run. You'll be rewarded.
Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Arizona State Sun Devils tonight at McHale Center. 9 o'clock tip-off time. We got you about another hour and 15 minutes here. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Share with us your thoughts on Arizona basketball. And we will try to answer any questions that you have about your team. 2 games left remaining in this regular season. Tonight, final home game, and then Saturday in Lawrence, Kansas. The first meeting between Arizona and Kansas in this Big 12 conference. Should be very fun to see at Fog Allen on Saturday. That'll be a 2:30 our time tip-off on the final day before the clocks change across the country yet again. Bobby Hurley has a team that is limping into Tucson. A lot of injuries, but again, this is a team that Bobby says continues to fight despite everything that they have dealt with this season.
I mean, they're tough kids, and we've been in a lot of hard games this year. I mean, our strength of schedule is super high. It's one of the top 10 or 15 or whatever it is in the country. So we've played a lot of good teams and been in a lot of close games. They haven't really backed out of many games so far, and that's just in their nature to try really hard.
Will Adam Miller play tonight? That's the $100 million question. He is the latest on the injury list for this club, so we will have to wait, like our friend Michelle Gardner said, when we'll see who shows up for shoot around here, see who's out there right on the court right now. If you're at the arena already and you see Adam Miller out there, give us a call. Let us know if you see him out there shooting around with his team. Who's going to be that pest of the game? Let's find out who will get underneath the Wildcat skin.
Who is today's pest of the game?
1 second. Got it at the buzzer.
The pest of the game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Check them out at bepestfree.com.
All right, John Rothstein, the brilliant college basketball insider and writer for CBS Sports, says that according to Bobby Hurley, Adam Miller, who's been dealing with a little bit of a hip pointer, will play tonight, bringing 10 more points back to this lineup for the Sun Devils. Pest of the game, who's it going to be, J-Dub?
Can I say Bobby Hurley?
Sure, if you'd like.
I'm glad we got to play against him.
You can say Bobby Hurley.
I mean, he's always been pest all the way back to when I watched him in the 80s. I'm going to go with Trevor Best because if you don't know the story, he was in high school 4 months ago, and he got on campus, and he's only played in the last 4 games, guys. He got 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes. But they've kind of unleashed him, this young man, another 17-year-old, should be a senior in high school right now. And his last 2 games, he's had 24 and 28 points, 18 points against BYU in a 10-point loss. So as far as a guy who's kind of an unknown, didn't play in the first game versus the Cats, that's a guy who right now with his depleted ball club, guys, Coach Hurley could just tell that young man to go out and do his thing. And that's always scary, and that could be a pass. So I'll go with Trevor Best.
Trevor Best for Mr. J.W. Madden. I'm going to go with a freshman, Amir Ali, who has gotten, because of all these injuries, a ton of playing time as of late. He, in fact, has made the most of his increased playing time over the past 7 games. He's averaging 9 points. His season average is just 5. He was getting like maybe 11 to 15 minutes for the majority of the season, but since the injuries have started to occur, he's, I think, had 4 games over 30 minutes in the last 7 games for this club. He's led the Sun Devils in rebounding and for the last 7 and has 6 games where he's gotten double-figure scoring off the bench. So if they're going to win, I'm going to go with the stretch 4 freshman, Amir Ali, because we've known that the Wildcats at times this season have had trouble with those stretch 4s.
That's a good one. Both of those are good ones. I'm going to go with Josan Sanin. Is that the way we say that, J-Dub?
Yeah, Josan Sanin.
That's the way I understand it. Yeah, Sanin.
Okay, I had
yeah.
to make sure I was getting that one right. Okay, I'm going to go with him, one, because he's a guy that's getting up a lot of shots now with all the injuries. He got up 20 shots the last game, and he actually made 11 of them and was 4 for 5 from the 3, which is a good percentage. And also, he's a guy that wanted to come to Arizona. We all know Caleb Love came back, so maybe he'll want to try to spoil Caleb Love night tonight.
All right, that's a good one there as well. Josan Sanin and Trevor Best to go along with Amir Ali.
Is that 3 freshmen?
I believe it is 3 freshmen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Young freshmen, too. All 3 of those guys are 17. Well, Quintance is the one who's the other 17.
Yeah.
But I know Sanin and Best are both 17-year-olds, right?
Wow.
There you go. That gives you an indication right there of what Coach Hurley is dealing with in terms of his lineup. All right, those are the guys we think will get underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight.
Amazing stuff. That's today's Best of the Game. The Best of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Check them out at BePestFree.com.
All right, let's find out a little bit more about a few of those guys. Trevor Best, you mentioned, J-Dub mentioned, has seen some increased playing time at a 28-point performance in the loss to BYU. I think he did score 28 in that game. I'll have to double-check that, though. But let's hear a little bit about Trevor Best, this young freshman.
Sun Devils should be happy about Best. I mean, you throw him in there ice cold, and he hasn't had a ton of practice because I can't even practice anymore because I can't afford to get any of the 6 guys. And now we could certainly add Trevor to that mix, but he hasn't had a lot of time to get reps either. So for him that's a testament to his working on his game and getting extra work in after practice, and I'm excited for the future for him for sure.
It was actually Josan Sanin that had the 28 points in the game against BYU, but Trevor Best is a young man that is even impressing the veterans like Adam Miller.
He's got here like in January, and he's been a very, very good teammate. He's a young, explosive point guard. I was telling him in practice the other day that you're going to get minutes by picking up people full court. I told him pick Mace up full court. Like, you want to play, go do that. And, he just took advantage of his opportunity, and I'm just proud of the kid because it's not easy to go out there and do that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You're talking about a guy that, spent the fall in high school and showed up at the turn of the clock into the new semester and is already out on the floor playing for his new team. I know a couple of years ago, the Wildcat women had that same situation. Maddie Connor came in at the break and did see some time at the end of that team that went to the national
And
championship.
Kelvin, he came
game.
out of Word of God, so I mean, he's definitely knows he's had some good teammates
Right.
and played in some good competition.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
a different type of high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mentioned my guy Amir Ali. He has also seen increased playing time so far. Had 18 points in that game against Texas Tech. That was just a few weeks ago when they took the Red Raiders to the brink. Ended up losing that game by 4 points. Amir Ali on how he's handled his now starting role for the Sun Devils.
Definitely tough because, I mean, I've been a scorer, so it's kind of tough going through a long game stretch of just slumps and just missing. You know, I'm known as a shooter, so it was definitely tough. I mean, I just stayed to myself and just kept working. Like, everybody says, you know, stay in the gym, keep working, but I mean, it's more of a mental thing than what you could do. You know, I realized a lot going through that slump. I had to, you know, get out my head and just remember, like, how I used to play basketball. I really had to enjoy it again. You know, it was tough going through these games, you know, not playing how you wanted to, and not also individually, but for the team. I mean, they needed me multiple times, and, you know, I failed to make shots, and that hurt my confidence even more because I'm more of a team guy, so it's tough. But, you know, Justin, you know, I finally playing my game, the Amir Ali that I usually play, like, and, yeah, it's definitely been tough, though, but, I mean, it's freshman year. You know, I got plenty of years to go, so just keep going.
Amir Ali, keep an eye on him tonight. Again, 6'8", stretch 4, who could cause some problems for the Wildcats if he gets that shot he was talking about going. We mentioned Josan Sannon. That was the pest for one Calvin Ifan. Adam Miller really likes the way that Josan's game has developed over the course of the season.
I think he just needs to keep doing the things that make him good. Like, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to take a person one-on-one from top of the key. Like, let the offense move, get you a pin down. Let's get a ball screen, have him shake up out the corner, get him in a long closeout with a guy in a long closeout. He can shoot it or get downhill.
28 points he had in that game against Utah, and 11 of 20 from the floor. He made 4 threes in that game, and he now is in top 10 in program history for three-point field goals made by a freshman. And I think the guy that holds that record goes by the name of Jahi Carson, if you might remember him from a few years.
It's been a minute,
back.
Kelvin, since they even had
with him.
It's been a minute since they even had freshman guards, if you think about it, because so many guys transferred in the last 10 years. They've had a lot of guys who are sophomores, juniors transfer in, so they're not rolling the ball out and giving it to the freshman guards to be able to put up that many shots. Injuries, obviously, and Sannon's just a very good shooter. That's what his scout was coming in when he originally committed to Arizona, was he was mostly known for his shooting ability from the outside. So definitely got to watch out with the green light when you got not a lot of people on the bench behind you, Kelvin. There's no hook. You could do whatever you want out there, more or less.
All right, it is the Arizona Wildcats and the Arizona State Sun Devils coming up. We are just about an hour away from handing it over to the network. Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen will take over at 8:30. They've got you the final half hour up until tip-off shortly after 9 tonight at McHale Center. One more hour, though, with us. Still a whole lot more to come. We'll get into our view from courtside. We'll let you hear from the Spanish language announcer for your Arizona Wildcats coming up in the final hour of the show. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, along with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona basketball is getting you closer to tip-off. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of our pregame show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master planned community designed by nature, University Termite and Pest Control, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Accidents cause hassles as big as the Grand Canyon.
So we're hitting the road to spread the word about the bird.
The Eagle at Goldberg and Osborne.
Freeway fiasco in Flagstaff.
Hurt in Havasu.
Totaled in Tucson.
No worries. The Eagle has offices across the state. From Kingman
to Sierra Vista, where they fight hard to get you more.
So relax and ride on.
Because the bird is the word.
Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
At University Termite and Pest Control, we handle all your pest problems. Maybe a few family ones, too.
Wait, you can even take care of my in-laws?
I always tell people we'll take care of anything, even in-laws. You just have to dig the hole.
Okay, but seriously, is it okay for our pets?
Absolutely. It's okay for pets, kids, anything you want to live, will live.
Call us today at University Termite and Pest Control. We'll squash those pests and enjoy it.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Caleb on a breakaway windmill jam.
Arizona basketball never sleeps.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We're getting closer to tip-off for today's Arizona basketball game. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Over to Lloyd, right corner. Whiteman steps left, shoots, banked it in for 3. Another one of the seniors, and the fans love it.
Let's take a look at the Right Way rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
All right, final hour of the show. Checking out Iowa State and BYU right now up on ESPN. Cyclones up 17-10 with about 8 minutes to go in that one. BYU missing threes they made against us here in Tucson. We will have our best bets here coming up. Wildcats are an 18.5-point favorite. Over under 155 tonight. Your view from courtside, Luis Denoain is the play-by-play man for the U of A Spanish broadcast, football and men's basketball. That's brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Keys to the game, Royal Automotive, starting lineup, courtesy of Rocky and Kay. And we will still to hear from Bobby Hurley, Caleb Love, Tommy Lloyd, and Conrad Martinez, who got some extended minutes in the last ball game. Still would like to hear from you as well. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is that number. We will get into a few of those texts here coming up shortly.
I forgot to say something about that Pima. I remember to say something.
Yes. We had one of your former players on your club team got a nice little honor this week.
Yeah, one of my former players. She graduated from Amphi in 23. Madsenea Vital. She was ACACC Player of the Week for Pima women's basketball team. And Coach Todd Haltis over there, they're 24-5, 15-3 in conference. And they will be playing Scottsdale
on Thursday in
the semifinal of the region tournament. So good luck to the ladies, and also Brian Peabody, who I know J-Dub, has a special relationship with. 30-0, 18-0 in conference, number one in the nation. They'll be playing South Mountain in the region semifinal at 7 tomorrow night. The girls will be playing Thursday night. So try to get out there. Some good basketball going on in Southern Arizona in the community college level, and with some great coaches and some talented players, and a few of them from Tucson for sure.
Absolutely. Shout out and congratulations to Montanea Vital from Amphi for that weekly honor, Division II Player of the Week. She is the third Aztec player to earn that honor this season for that team. They are the number 9 team in Division II, and they're the 2 seed in that region tournament. So they'll host the first game, and then they would need the 1 seed to get upset for them to be able to host the region championship game over the weekend. The Aztec men are the number 1 seed, so they'll be home as long as they continue to win, and likely headed to the national tournament for the men and the women. If they can get there too, that would be real cool to have both those teams in the national tournament.
But that 30-0, J-Dub, that scares me.
Yeah, it's crazy. 107 a game, dude. 107 is what they average.
Man, that just scares me a little bit, though, when you get ready to go in the tournament play, man. I almost, I hope the best for them, but I just, man, that's them teams around the nation been waiting.
Yeah. 1976.
That's the last time?
Last time.
Wow.
A team went undefeated, yeah. And NCAA basketball, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to be at that tournament. Them teams going to be down there ready to go at that national tournament. So, hey, good luck, on their pursuit of that championship.
Well, we had some fireworks the last time that these two teams got together up in Tempe. It came at the end of the game.
Bradley will lay it up and good. Arizona up 81-72, 35 seconds left. Sun Devils now need some more quick threes. Pass to Quinn. It's tipped out of bounds. Arizona fans feeling something right now. This game's not over yet. So
Double technical foul coming. One on Caleb Love, one on Freeman, and they just threw out Caleb Love.
That's all I got. I'll turn it over to Adam. I can tell you this: I do get a vote for the for all conference, and I can tell you who's not getting a vote.
Oh. Yeah, that was Bobby Hurley after the game up in Tempe. He felt like the Wildcats were inciting his players in that ball game. In particular, he was not real happy with Caleb Love and the interaction that he had with B.J. Freeman, who obviously is no longer on the team. Freeman has since been dismissed.
Dismissed?
Dismissed.
Bobby Hurley has had a problem with Caleb Love since April 2nd. 2022, which would be the Final Four game where Caleb scored the last 6 points in Coach K's final ever game.
Ooh.
Final ever game Caleb Love scored the last 6 points in the last 30 seconds to send Duke home 81-77. Bobby Hurley has had a problem with Caleb Love ever since that day. And probably before that day. But that day, I mean, Kelvin, come on.
And that was a younger Caleb, so he probably was really giving it to him after that one right there. But, ironically, the kid that he had the altercation with, as you just said, isn't there. So do you still feel the same, or could that kid could have started that, Bobby? That would be a question that I would have now. Would you look at that a little bit differently now that you had to dismiss him for whatever rules or whatever that were broken? Because that's the only reason why you dismiss somebody, right?
Yeah, and if you go watch the tape, I mean, that was all Freeman, right? I mean, he's frustrated.
He headbutted him.
What happened was he got blocked like the possession before, and then Caleb hit a 3 on him, and then he headbutted him. So, again, you're going to defend your own players. I mean, Kelvin, if you're in that spot, you're defending BJ Freeman.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say that, though. I'm not going to say...
he took it to a grudge kind of level.
Yeah,
I'm not
saying that. Even if I felt that way, I wouldn't have said
what
it.
I meant is, like, Kelvin... But Bobby Hurley's not going to come out 3 days later and be like, I reviewed the tape and I know BJ was in the wrong. He's not going to say any of that stuff. He's going to defend his guy. Anybody who saw it live or go back and watch the video, I mean, that was purely escalation by BJ Freeman. But, hey, what'd you say the Sun Devil record is against Arizona, DK? That has a little something to do with it.
79 down.
Yeah, a little something to do with it.
70-plus wins in the down column. For sure. Caleb Love was asked if the comments that Bobby Hurley, can we hear the Bobby Hurley comment one more time so we can set that up for Caleb?
That's all I got. I'll turn it over to Adam. I can tell you this: I do get a vote for the for all conference, and I can tell you who's not getting a vote.
Caleb Love asked this week if that comment by Bobby Hurley is affecting him at all going into this game, and about the dismissal of one BJ Freeman.
I'm going to come in and, do my job and, try to do anything that I can to help this team win. And, that, it has no impact at all on anything that I do.
What was your reaction to Freeman being dismissed from that team? Did you want to play him again after that whole deal? Or?
No, I didn't matter. I didn't have no reaction to it.
And that did not surprise Tommy Lloyd in the least.
Caleb has that every game. I mean, I'm sure if he wanted to scroll through social media, he could find some motive versus an opponent, and I think he's outgrown that. I think he understands this is Arizona versus Arizona State. Obviously, a rivalry game. He's a big part of the rivalry, but I don't think there's anything personal, in my mind, and there should.
And now you'll remember that the Wildcats and the Sun Devils did not shake hands after that game. Bobby Hurley pulled his team off the floor. This is what he said after the game about why he did that.
Well, I mean, it was, if you were right near our bench, it was relentless, constant chatter, from a couple of the Arizona players that was not being policed properly. And of course, they're going to be happy with winning, but it was done with no class, in my opinion. And words that were said back and forth led, to the moment where Freeman, lost it and lost his cool because of the constant talk that was allowed to go on. So, I had to make a tough decision to obviously, in the best interest of our team, to get them into the locker room so there'd be no further incidents the rest of the game. And in the handshake line.
Had that happened before?
I just saw that it was very heated, and I thought that there was possibilities that something else could have happened, and I was going to avoid that, and wanted to avoid any further confrontation at the end of the game.
All right, that was Bobby Hurley after the ball game last time around. You may have heard, if you heard our interview with Michelle Gardner, he has since said that he was in the wrong, that he would probably handle that differently if it happened again. We shall see. The Wildcat faithful are always good to welcome Bobby with a chorus of boos when he comes in here to Tucson, and I'm sure tonight will be no different than any other night.
Guys, he's 4-16, right? I mean, to me, that's a competitor. Did anybody? I mean, I know Kelvin did, and I know I did, and I know DK probably did, but if anybody out there listening watched Bobby Hurley play basketball, I mean, and know anything about his father or his brother, I mean, that's a dude who wants to win games. I don't think it has to do with the teacup guys. I think it has to do with the fact that he's 4-16 in his tenure at ASU versus the Wildcats.
I would say so. I would absolutely say so. I mean, there has not been a lot of success. But again, it was a game just a couple of years ago that they were able to get one of those 4 wins. And so you never went. And that was a game that the Wildcats were heavily favored in, just kind of like they are tonight. So you never want to, in a game like this, any rivalry game for that matter, assume that it's going to be easy.
Well, I'm going to say this. I don't think the guys are going to assume that it's easy, and I think it has a lot to do with the situation that happened in Phoenix. I think they made it real for these guys. A lot of these guys come in here and they don't really understand that rivalry. It take a year or two, or it take you being in that game and some type of altercation or something happens to make you be like, what? I don't want to never let these guys win, right? So I feel like with that happening with B.J. Freeman and it getting real like that, I think it gave those guys a chance to come together and to realize that, like, this game is real and this game has a real significance. So I think ASU better watch out today. And coming off of L, man.
Let me rephrase that. 4-16 with an average loss margin of 23.1, and that's including the 4 wins. Including the 4 wins, 231-point differential in his 20 games. Wow. So that's a 23-point average, including the 4 wins. So, again, I remember Bobby when he first came into McHale. Not his first time. I watched him play in McHale as a Duke Blue Devil twice. But I watched him come in as the first time as a head coach at ASU. You know what he did? He was down by 8 late. He got 2 techs on purpose. He got 2 techs and said, I'm going to go to the locker room, try to fire up my guys. That's just who he is. He's a fiery guy, and he wants to win more than anything. And, guys, down 4 starters, I mean, anything could happen tonight, right? Because he's not coming in here thinking we're just going to roll over. That's just not who he is. So expect fireworks.
He better play 2-3 zone.
Yeah, something.
You better play some 1-3-1.
We'll see. We'll see if that transpires tonight. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get it on the program. We've got much more coming up for you straight ahead. We are going to let you hear from one of the Spanish language announcers for your Arizona Wildcats, Luis Daniel Hain, who will be calling the game tonight. I believe it's on 92.5 FM, but we'll let him tell you exactly where you can find that broadcast this evening. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday. Calvin Efon is here. J.W. Madden as well. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Thana A'am Nation.
Looking to upgrade your home? The Window Depot is your go-to spot for Milgard windows and patio doors. Select from a variety of styles, including aluminum, vinyl, or fiberglass, to start your journey to a brighter, more beautiful home. The Window Depot has Milgard windows in stock, ready to go home today, or their team can help you with a special order. Whether you're looking for energy efficiency, aesthetic appeal, or custom solutions, they've got you covered. Build the home you deserve with Milgard windows and doors from the Window Depot. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you.
Stars are shining down on Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle has more than 2,200 5-star Google reviews from across Arizona, like these.
They go that extra mile to let you know they care. A wonderful experience.
They treat their clients like family, and their professionalism is the best in the business.
They made sure I got a great offer. Like a bulldog, they fought for me.
Well said, everyone. After any accident, remember, the bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
At University Termite and Pest Control, we handle all your pest problems. Maybe a few family ones, too.
Wait, you can even take care of my in-laws?
I always tell people we'll take care of anything, even in-laws. You just have to dig the hole.
Okay, but seriously, is it okay for our pets?
Absolutely. It's okay for pets, kids, anything you want to live, will live.
Call us today at University Termite and Pest Control. We'll squash those pests and enjoy it.
If you're suffering from back pain and your physician is giving you a back brace or a pain pill or an injection and not explain the process of what you have and how to rehabilitate yourself, then there might be something missing. I'm Tom Corey. I'm a physiatrist here at Desert Sky Spine and Pain. If you're looking to find the root cause of your pain, any pain that's limiting your function, limiting the things that you want to do in life, call us at 520-229-2080 or find us on the web at desertskymedicine.com.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden. It's time now for us to take you down to front row of the arena. A view from the courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, serving Southern Arizona for more than 25 years.
Getting you set for the Wildcats and the Sun Devils. The rivalry is renewed. And, of course, you will hear the game here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brian Jeffries, Ryan Hansen will have the call. The game will also be broadcast tonight in Spanish here in Southern Arizona. We're pleased to be joined by the man that's going to call the game. A few weeks ago, we talked to Jorge Leiva from the Spanish radio broadcast here at the University of Arizona, and we are joined today by Luis De Nojuan. He'll be on the play-by-play of tonight's game. Luis, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us today.
Hey, how are you, David? Nice to see you.
I'm doing good, doing good. Now, Luis, you are cousins with the great Francisco Romero, I understand.
Yes, correct. Francisco Romero is my cousin, yes. Francisco Romero is my teacher. He's my master for the most rated, the Spanish radio, the broadcasting. Francisco is my mentor.
When did you first approach him and let him know, I want to do what you do? How old were you when you told him that?
Yeah, I started my career in 2016 and for the Spanish broadcasting from the sports in Mexico. And I like the sport broadcasting in Spanish, basketball, football, and every sport. It's exciting.
So how old were you?
Oh, I had 38 years. Yeah.
So you were 38 years old. So you were already before you started broadcasting.
Yeah. I have right now. I'm 45. Yeah. But in my interest for the broadcasting and sports is in the child for the view and the TV and the radio, the commentator, the Spanish and English broadcasting. Yeah, it's my motivation.
So now, what were you doing before you started broadcasting? What were you doing all that time as an adult before you decided I'm going to start to pursue this?
Yeah, but I got to start. I like it every sport. I like every sport for the basketball, baseball. But I started I looking for the people in Spanish broadcasting radio for the universities or college on the big program for MLB and NBA. But it's a motivation for me for Spanish and or the broadcasting in this time. And I'm looking for the media, social media, and I have my segment is in the Estrella TV and TV, my starter niche for the broadcasting. Yeah, but it's really really cool for me, and the motivation for the sport.
Luis Denowain is our guest. It is your view from courtside, and it's brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona for more than 25 years. So what is your full-time job, Luis? What do you do full-time?
Yeah, I am full-time for the media, for Estrella TV, for the social media, and right now I'm working for the Arizona Sport Enterprises for the official boy from the football and basketball for the U of A.
Awesome, that is awesome. So for you, what was the best piece of advice that Francisco gave you when you told him you wanted to start doing this?
Well, Francisco is he started in Telemundo in the TV, and Francisco, the first game broadcasting in Spanish with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he moves to the Milwaukee and a lot of teams in MLB, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Minnesota Twins, and right now Francisco working for Astros about 12 or 13 years for Astros.
Right.
Yeah, but the big motivation is the create more people for Spanish in broadcasting and this sport in USA.
Now, you had the call. You made the call on when Caleb Love hit the three-quarter court shot, correct?
Yes, it's correct. Yes, very very exciting moment for me, and it's a great moment for me, and the principal moment for me. The shot that people. This Caleb Love shot for the half a court. Yeah, I know the baseline in front of me. The Caleb Love with 2.2 seconds to pass for the Anthony Delorso to Caleb Love to tie the game in 71-71 is amazing time for me for the broadcasting. To send the emotion, send the exciting broadcasting for a lot of people listening in this and that moment. For the game in Spanish.
It was a great call for sure. We played it obviously at the top of our segment here today. Were you nervous? Were you nervous at the end of that game? Do you get nervous at times when you have a big moment like that?
No, really no. I like it. It's very exciting for me to be a part for the sport, the Spanish broadcasting. It's really exciting for me. Every play, every single play for both teams, yeah, is great. I like it.
So, what do you like about this team? What do you love about this team this year? This Arizona Wildcats men's basketball team.
Well, a lot of talent for the Arizona right now. The Trey Townsend transfer to the University of Oakland to the U of A. The Caleb Love stay one more year. The last year, Pac-12 of the year. Second team All-American, Caleb Love stay one more year for Arizona. The freshman, Carter Bryant, is really good player. Jaden Bradley, KJ Lewis. It's a great people, great team. Henry Baser missed the last season for injury. But it's a lot of group of talent from the Tommy Lloyd this season, and hopefully it's next week to the Big 12 tournament. Is if Arizona win tonight, is maybe number one seed for the tournament in the first round bye, and this is a great opportunity for advance for the championship Big 12 tournament. And hopefully for the March Madness in the number 4, number 5 seeds for the region, And hopefully the Arizona Wildcats is a great team for the tournament.
Did you grow up an Arizona Wildcats fan?
Yeah, a lot. In the 90s, I mean, my favorite player is Khalil Reeves. As you remember, that Khalil Reeves is a number 5th player in the score history for Arizona program, and the other player, Chan Elliott, Steve Kerr, and it's a lot of players. Damon Stoudemire, a lot of players for the 90s, and the 2000 was Richard Jefferson, Gilbert Arenas. Aaron Gordon is a lot of talents. Derrick Williams, but I'm excited for the program. Arizona is year to year is a great players to come to the Arizona program.
Now, we talked about, obviously, the influence that Francisco Romero has had on you. Are there other broadcasters, other Spanish broadcasters that you like to listen to, that you idolize?
The Spanish broadcaster for Arizona Diamondbacks is Oscar Soria. This guy is from Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, for the Spanish broadcasting for the Naranjeros de Hermosillo in the Liga Mexicana del Pacífico. Is my other guy for the follow the broadcasting in Spanish.
It is Arizona and Arizona State tonight. Before we continue, let's pause for station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
We are joined by Luis De Nojen. He is the Spanish language play-by-play man and analyst for the Arizona Wildcats men's basketball and football teams. It is your view from courtside, and it's brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona for more than 25 years. Luis, what do the Wildcats have to do to win tonight against the Sun Devils?
Well, the tonight game between Arizona State and Arizona is always exciting. It's one of the biggest rivalries in the college sports, and the atmosphere is electric every time. These two teams meet. Arizona State has always been a tough opponent, and this game is not different. Both teams bring a lot of intensity for the court, and fans are always on the edge for their seats. Arizona, it is a strong offense and defense. We definitely look the Arizona is the control, but Arizona State has proved a better resilient team, especially in rivalry games like this. It's going to be a battle from the start to finish, and the energy will be incredible.
Luis, can you freestyle a late call for me? I want you to freestyle a game-winning basket for KJ Lewis. Can you freestyle that for me right now so that people can get a sense of how you sound as a broadcaster?
The one play for KJ Lewis.
One play for KJ Lewis to win the game.
Viene Arizona la defensa. KJ Lewis roba la pelota. Se viene solo contra el oponente. Cruza la media cancha. Se va a la pintura. Tira de larga distancia. 3 puntos. KJ Lewis le da la victoria al equipo de Arizona. El equipo de Arizona State. Arizona, los Gatos ganan esta noche.
I love it. That was awesome. Luis, where can people hear the games tonight with you and Jorge on it?
The people listen to the 92.5 Urbana FM radio. Yeah, or the internet is urbana.com.
92.5.
92.5 FM, yes.
All right. That is awesome. Luis, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to come on and chat with us today. Have a great broadcast tonight.
Thank you, David.
That is Luis De Nojen. He is the Spanish language play-by-play man for the Arizona men's basketball team, and that is your view from courtside.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, serving Southern Arizona for more than 25 years.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066. If you can't be at the game, then you should be at Dave & Buster's. It's the best place to eat, watch, drink, and play. Watch your favorite team throughout the entire tournament. Take a walk on the $1 Million Midway where you can play the biggest and newest arcade games. So when your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's. Watch all the sports you want. They have massive HD TVs, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
I love my weekend rides across Arizona. I travel with all the protection I need. Helmet, gloves, leathers, and the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle fights hard to help injured riders across the state. Whether we're cruising through Carefree, slow riding in Sedona, or breezing through Bisbee, they find you doctors, manage medical bills, and get you back on your bike with the most money possible. Injured riding? The bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Right Way is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 9,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Right Way to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Right Way today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Va a ponerla en circulación. Vamos a ver a quién buscan. Ahí está Bradley, ahí está Kaylen Lowe. Kaylen Lowe de media cancha, tira y... ¡Kaylen Lowe dio una canasta de 3 puntos! ¡Impresionante! Kaylen Lowe lo hizo. El milagro se logró. Aquí en el McKeown Center se empata la pizarra. 71-71. Se volvió un manicomio. El McKeown Center, Jorge.
That is Luis Denoé. I mean, For a guy that's only been doing it, he said, for what, since about 2017. So this would be 8 years for him. He sounds like an old pro there. I was surprised. I thought he was a young guy when I first contacted him to have him on the show, but he's a little bit older guy, got into this thing late, but living on his dream of being a big-time sports announcer here in Southern Arizona with his Wildcats. Whole lot of fun. So listen to them tonight on, I believe it was, I missed the number again, 92.5 here in Tucson is the radio station. Urbana 92.5 FM is where you can hear the Spanish language broadcast play-by-play. I might listen to that on my way back from the game tonight and catch a little bit of Luis and Jorge Leyva. All right, let's take a look at what we think is going to happen on the big board at the Desert Diamond Casino with this game tonight.
Tucson, what are some of today's best bets? Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at some of today's best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, Fred Scheib, our guy in New Jersey, says, I want to hear over-under on the number of punches by ASU players tonight. And for the rest of the season, I'd pick 1, 1, and 3, he says, tonight. Should probably include headbutts, slaps, kicks, chokes, all of that. Number one key for him, we'll get his key later when we get to keys to the game. Arizona 18.5-point favorite. I was just going back and looking at some of these from other times they've been double-digit favorites. The last time was just a few weeks ago against Utah, just a few games ago against Utah, and they were able to cover that game at home. There was a game earlier this season, though, against Central Florida. I believe that was a home game here, but they did not cover that game when they were a double-digit favorite. So they have tended not to cover. There was another game, they were a 15.5-point favorite, and they only won by 15 earlier this year. So 18 is a very, very large number, 18.5, I should say, to deal with. I will go first on this one, and I never like numbers that big in a rivalry game, so I'm taking those points. Arizona State plus the 18.5.
K-Rock? Man, that's a tough one right there because some in my mind makes me believe that coach is going to take the guys out and rest them for the weekend. Mm-hmm. Or getting ready for the tournament. So, yeah, I don't think we cover the 18.5.
Yeah, I think they get out to a big lead. Obviously, ASU, very depleted roster. They're going to put some of the guys. I think, Coach Lloyd in general waits till about the 1 minute and 30-second mark before he empties the bench. You could see that a lot earlier tonight if they get out to big enough lead to get some of those. How many seniors are on that scout team? A whole bunch, right? Ooh. So if there's ever going to be a time with ASU down. So I think Arizona gets out to 20-25-point lead. Yeah. 18. I think Arizona wins by, I'll say just over that. So 19, 20 points.
Oh, all right. There we go. J-Dub is laying the number, laying the 18.5 tonight. Over-under is 155. 155. What was it? It was 151.5 on Tuesday, and we ended at 151. So, Kelvin, you go first on this one. Over or under 155?
Yeah, I'm going under. I think Arizona's going to come in and really lock up on the defensive end and make it tough for them. So I'm going under.
J-Dub.
I think the same. I think they're going to lock it up, but I think it's going to go over because I think Arizona is going to put up a lot of points. So not too much over that, but 160, something like that.
All right. J-Dub's got a 1-win lead on me right now. He's +2. I'm even. Kelvin's -6 right now. I'm trying to make a move here. With probably 5 to 6 games left to play. So I still have plenty of time. So I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under on that to see if I can make my move on J-Dub.
Hopefully 10 games left.
There you go. Ooh, man, that's a lot. But that would be the goal. 10 games remaining to get to the glorious championship.
I wonder, is he going to start any of the walk-ons?
They usually do, right?
Yeah. He did, but there's so many. there's somebody that somebody would not be able to start, and we were talking about that yesterday. It's like if he started all the walk-ons, who would not start? And we guess he probably wouldn't start Liam. He would start all the other guys and not Liam. But we'll see.
Well, there are 6 seniors, so you couldn't start them all, right?
Right. Yeah. Somebody would have to sit. All right. Arizona State getting 18.5 points. Kelvin and I taking that. J-Dub laying that. And under for Kelvin and I, over for J-Dub. And that is how it looks at the Desert Diamond Casino.
Those are today's best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Speaking of Liam Lloyd, Tommy Lloyd talking about his senior son and his night tonight at McHale Center.
I mean, honestly, something I never wanted. Liam, was a pretty good player growing up, and he kind of, he carved out his own path, and we as parents were proud of that. And he went through the struggles that come with carving out your own path and being a young adult. He looked like he was coming through and fine, and then sometimes life throws you a little curveball. And last year, obviously, he and Hallie, his fiance, have a kid over the summer, and just, priorities change. So the priority for him became more about, starting his family and, getting some more hands-on support from his parents to kickstart his life. So that was the driving force to get him down here. But it's been cool having him around. To be honest with you, it's around the court every day. It's literally business as usual. I don't go out of my way to talk to him or whatever. I mean, we can do that at home when he comes up to the house. So, but it's been fun having him around, and I know he's been really happy this year, and I think he's enjoyed the experience. So, and obviously, we've loved having him around, as his parents, because you just never know, when a kid's 18. I mean, I never went back home. So you just never know, are you going to be around your kids, every day again? And so to have him and Hallie and our daughters here, and then, have little Luca around is pretty special.
Tommy Lloyd talking about his son Liam, who started his career at Grand Canyon and then went on to play extensively at Northern Arizona, and now finishing out his career with his dad here with the University of Arizona Wildcats. And again, Liam's a kid, and I think that was one of those things. I think obviously he went to Grand Canyon and was on the roster there, but took that advice that his dad gave to Grant Whiteman, and he went to NAU because he had an opportunity to play there and play extensively for that team, and kind of get an opportunity to live that life of being a guy that a team depends on versus just a guy coming off the bench. But now having the chance to come back and be with his dad, that's got to have been and enjoyable, and it was fun to see or nice to hear Tommy say that he's been happy this year, and that's what you want for your children, is for them to be happy as they kind of live out the final stages of their athletic lives, for sure. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Last final chance as we wind down our show here today. We saw Conrad Martinez get into the game and get some extended minutes the other night against the Iowa State Cyclones. So Conrad played 11 minutes. He had not played double-digit minutes in a long time for the Wildcats. He missed both of his three-point attempts and had one turnover in his 11 minutes. But Tommy Lloyd liked the effort that he got from his backup point guard.
Conrad's an amazing kid. I love that kid. High character, incredible player. I just haven't given him a lot of opportunities, and the way that game was going, you never know. You throw a curveball in there and see what happens. And I thought he really, really, really impacted the game. His stat line won't show it, but I thought he really impacted the game. And it was a spark, so that definitely is something I can put in my back pocket going forward.
Well, did you have any hesitation about that? I mean, we haven't seen him a lot. I know you've spoken highly of him, but in a game like this with a lot going on.
I mean, Bruce, we were down 20 points. I mean, you got to try something. You know what I mean? Like, you got to try something. And the kid deserved an opportunity. And, if we were down 4, I probably wouldn't have did it. So the way the game played out, I thought it was a an opportunity for him to come in. And, if it went well, it gives me a good look. I don't want to put him in those situations sometimes when we're down 2 or 4. Because what if it goes bad? I'm trying to build the kid's confidence, and he was great today. So, we'll see what happens going forward, but I'm really proud of Conrad and his character.
All right, Conrad Martinez getting some run, and that was one of the things I'd said. I thought I'd like to maybe see him get some minutes there to kind of spell Jaden Bradley a little bit. Conrad just kind of on the mentality he's had as a player coming off the bench for Arizona.
I feel like being a point guard is the most important position in the course, so I just want to make sure that everybody gets the ball, make easy plays, and don't turn the ball over. And I feel like that's what we work for.
There you go. Conrad Martinez, sophomore, getting his first extensive playing time this season for the Arizona Wildcats. All right, let's find out what the Arizona Wildcats need to do to win this game tonight.
Wildcats fans, our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealer that is different.
All right, keys to the game, Arizona State. We will start with Kelvin Ifan.
My keys to the game, jump on Arizona State fast. Don't let them think that they have a chance to win this game. Play against the name on the front. Don't necessarily look at the young guys in the uniform and underestimate them. Lock up Josan Sannon. Don't let him get going. Don't let him catch and shoot, and don't let him have a good night tonight. I think he's a guy you have to focus on. And get up on these guys early, and let's get some guys rested. This is part of the season to me where it really matters. You don't want guys to get little injuries or whatnot. So let's take care of business and get these guys out the last 10 minutes and let the other guys finish up.
There you go. Get those walk-ons some time there at the end so they can get the love on senior night. I want to see, if there's one thing I want to see defensively, I want to see if Arizona State is going to shoot threes tonight, I want to see the bigs with their foot on the paint. I want to see the bigs out there defending the three-point line a little bit better. Less sagging into the paint and more perpetuating forward into the circle, the top of the circle near that three-point line to try to take away some of those jumpers from the Arizona State Sun Devils tonight. I think inside is going to be important in this game. There's not a lot of depth there for the Arizona State Sun Devils. Utah dominated them inside. I mean, absolutely dominated them with all their bigs. So I'd like to see a big night for the bigs inside. Henry Vasar, maybe 8 to 10 shots for him, 8 to 10 for Toby. I'd like to see Trey Townsend maybe get 6 shots in this game. Get your bigs involved. Dominate from the inside out, I think, in this game is going to be the thing. And I also would like to see them again. I've said all season long, I want to see this team make threes. And I think that's going to be important, and I'd like to see that continue. 8 to 10 three-point shots made tonight for your Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, obviously very similar. I think, number one, you got to get out fast. You got to make sure that ASU understands at the 10-minute mark that Arizona's here to play. They're not overlooking the Sun Devils despite their record, despite their depleted roster. Play with great spirit. Understand what those ASU guys have been through and how they've really come up to play outside of that Utah game. They played BYU within 10 points, guys, 4 starters down. So just make sure from the opening tip you make them understand. Dominate the boards, same as the inside. This is not a team that has any depth inside. You have to enforce your will in there. So whether or not it's offensive rebounds, Tobe should feast on the offensive glass, and everybody should get involved. They should win the rebounding battle in this game by 12 or 15. And finally, I think you got to send Mr. Coach Bobby Hurley home as a sad boy. And I think the way you do that is you lock down their perimeter guys as if this is a national championship level game. Ooh. You come out ferociously. You make sure that Sannon and the other 17-year-old but don't have any kind of faith, because that's the worst thing is early in this game. If some of those guys who've never really been in the bright lights of McHale start to feel themselves, it could go sideways really quick. So make sure, I'd like to see those perimeter guys held under 40%. Dominate from the start. Those are my keys versus that school up north.
All right, that's what we think the Wildcats need to do tonight to beat the rival Sun Devils.
Wildcat fans, those are our keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. The foundation of a great basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature.
Jaden Bradley starts at one guard, 6'3", out of Rochester, New York, averaging 12 points on the season, leads the team with 109 assists. Right behind him with 102 assists is Caleb Love, 6'4", fifth-year man out of St. Louis, Missouri. He is the leading scorer for the Wildcats with 16 points per game average. Anthony Del Orso, the third and three-guard play, 6'6", out of Melbourne, Australia. 8 points a game and shooting 40% from three is Anthony Del Orso. Did not take a single shot at Iowa State and is still sitting on that 99 three-point shots taken number. So hopefully he'll get over 100 here tonight. Henry Vesar, 7-foot forward out of Estonia, 9 points, 5 rebounds for Henry Vesar. Toby Awaka at the other forward, 6'8", out of Hyde Park, New York, 8 points, 8 rebounds for Toby Awaka. 85 of those rebounds coming at the offensive end, one of the best in the Big 12. Tommy Lloyd is your head coach of the Arizona Wildcats. Tommy Lloyd sitting on 107 wins, the fifth most in NCAA history over the first 4 seasons. That is going to wrap it up for us. Thanks to everyone that joined us. Luis Denoen, Michelle Gardner, for Kelvin Ethan, J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. Coming up next, it is the rivalry renewed. Arizona State, number 24 Arizona. Brian Jeffries, Ryan Hansen will have the call. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Bear down.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Caleb on a breakaway windmill jam.
Arizona basketball never sleeps.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We're getting closer to tip-off for today's Arizona basketball game. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rocking K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining, you know.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
You know, it's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants and the spider, a scorpion. I saw a scorpion, and I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
If you can't be at the game, then you should be at Dave & Buster's. It's the best place to eat, watch, drink, and play. Watch your favorite team throughout the entire tournament. Take a walk on the $1 Million Midway where you can play the biggest and newest arcade games. So when your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's. Watch all the sports you want. They have massive HD TVs, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Good again. Caleb Love now taking over the game.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Upgrade with new windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom order windows to fit your style and budget. With our exclusive SI window brand, made right here in the USA, you'll get a full lifetime warranty, including glass replacement, for ultimate peace of mind. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you and start your project today. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Accidents cause hassles as big as the Grand Canyon.
So we're hitting the road to spread the word about the bird.
The Eagle at Goldberg and Osborne.
Freeway fiasco in Flagstaff.
Hurt in Havasu.
Totaled in Tucson.
No worries. The Eagle has offices across the state. From Kingman
to Sierra Vista, where they fight hard to get you more.
So relax and ride on.
Because the bird is the word.
Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low-pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.